I've got to keep the ball on the ground! Ian McCall!
Wow, go on.
What the fuck are you thinking doing this?
Well, I needed the 200 notes.
150.
We started.
Right, okay.
You alright, mate?
Yeah, fine, yes.
Delighted to have him on, boys.
Well, the reason I came on was because whenever I went into Ayr or Thistle, every month, the players used to tell me, by the way, did you watch? I don't watch podcast. I don't know really how you do it. Did you watch that? They were all giving you pelters. The boys Thelin and big Ryan Stevenson giving you absolute dogs. But I'd never ever seen it, so I thought, I'll come in and see what it's about.
So let's give you a right of defence.
Well, do you know what? I don't think I did at all.
He released you, didn't he?
Well, he doesn't even know what I look like.
I know. He thought Ronan was slaying it.
To be fair, I released an awful lot of people at Ayr. I mean, what are you going to do? Go down to League Two? You know?
do you remember him as a player at all?
God, it's a while, a wee bit. Did you get sent off against Ayr during the game?
Aye, but you weren't in just yet. You were about to come out. Andy Millen took the game.
Would I?
And then, I don't know if you were on the stand and went, I can't have this psychopath in my team. Because I get straight to the head. It was the one with the first touch.
Paddy Boyle, wasn't it? Smashed Paddy Boyle.
No, it was just, I found it a horrendous dressing room. Not as bad as Thistle was.
Oh, did you?
Horrendous. And that's how they couldn't win football matches. And I found it, there were 2 or 3 really good young players that had nobody to lead them whatsoever. But
there was a few good senior players there with Scott McLaughlin, John Paul. There was a good senior players there. For whatever reason, that season it just wasn't working at all.
Aye, well, I'm not sure I would agree with you about that. But listen, it's about opinions. I mean, the bottom line is they were going one way, in my opinion. And we went to 4th in the last game of the season. They were going to League 2. We managed to stay up. Do you know who played that day? Big McKenna, who's at Las Palmas now. 17-year-old beside Peter Murphy, who's manager of Queen's.
Player Peter Murphy was.
Peter's a good player. And Big McKenna that day was a colossus who won 3-1. And then that allowed Forrest and
Nicky
Crawford, Devlin to develop a wee bit, you know. We got promoted the following year, so yeah.
Had some players over that wee span there, didn't they?
Well, that wasn't a good team. That was a good man. Before mentioned Ryan Stevens, Ryan was coming in and I thought I brought him in when he was done, right? But to be fair to him, he scored 5 goals and it was, or 6 maybe, every single one of them. And the pitches were no like going to Ibrox or Celtic Park. You're playing in. Every single one of them was for about 35 yards. Yeah. Every one of them. So we had a decent team that year. And then the following year in the Championship, we get relegated. We just could not get a start. That's when Lawrence left me standing at Tory somewhere anyway for about an hour. And he'd went away and signed with Morton. Following season, with some of the boys that I brought in eventually matured. Michael Rose and boys like that. And then Harvey came in. And there were some real good players there.
See, you mentioned Shankland though. Do you know who was better than them all? The most underrated player of all time, Michael Moffat.
Moff was before me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I brought Moff back, but he wasn't in the same league.
But see if you could have got himself in good proper nick.
Well, he was in great nick when I got him, because he was into that. Young players seem to be into PT now. Every single player's a PT guy.
It's PT a podcast, isn't it?
Is it?
Did you have Luke McCown?
I had Luke. I gave him his debut, and I should have. You may text me when he joined Celtic up the road. I should have given him his debut before I did, but he came in and played about 7 or 8 games at the end of this
What age was
season.
Sorry?
Oh God, 20 maybe.
And where did you get him?
20. He came through the academy there. He'd been at Morton and he came in and we played him the following season in the first team. That's after Lawrence had left and some of the main players had left. But we played Forrest on the right, Luke on the left, and Michael Moffat through the middle. And Wee McCowan, I mean, in a front 3, but just coming in the pitch. And that's one of the things I don't see now. Maybe he's been told naughty, but he's a great dribbler. But now he's just getting and bumping it a bit. He can play all right. But our last game in charge there, we were beaten. 2 scores come in. Man City were winning 4-0, and we were winning 4-0 after 25 minutes against Morton. I can't mind who it was against. And Luke McCowan nutmegged 2 players in a row with 2 touches. And you're thinking, right, go and have a strike, and the next guy come in and try to nutmeg him. We're just falling out laughing. But the level of football they played in that game, that's the best any team. We were top of the Championship, and then the next day I left. So.
Well, just quickly, give us the Shankland story. So Shankland patched you at first?
Aye, Lawrence, he'd been about a few places on loan, and it was actually Coyle. Coyle phoned me to tell me he's not coming, because Coyle knows his dad well. I'm standing at where the Queen's Park train now. What's it called? Cartha, Queen's Park, that area.
Wlkins. That's it.
So I'm standing at Wlkins waiting on him for about half an hour. Coyle phones, listen, Gaffer, he's not coming. He's away down to Morton, he's signing, he's scared to phone you. But the thing is, I always said it's a lesson to younger managers, never ever hold a grudge. Because if I'd have held a grudge, there's some managers that you probably work with, or you all have, they would have said, right, that's it, finished. And eventually we got him at the start of the following season, about July, just after League Cup games. And he came in and a true story, he scored in his first game, and by his 50th game he'd scored 52 goals in 50 games.
Wow. I remember up and leading up to January he'd scored about 25 goals, didn't he?
Yeah.
But we had him on and he spoke very highly of you, didn't he?
I did,
We played at Tannadice one night. We beat Dundee United 5-0 at Tannadice, and Lorne scored 4. But the best goal was Moffat's. Moffat scored a goal. I said, what a goal! It was unbelievable.
Were you the one that told Shankland to get in shape?
Aye, but not. It was a bit like Dobie. He just had to change people's. This is just my opinion. He had to change people's perception of him. I mean, everybody kept saying Dobie's fat. He's this. He's that. He wasn't fat. He was just looked, to the eye. So lose half a stone, lose 10 pounds or something, and change people's perception of him. And that's what I did with Lawrence, and he did it. I mean, but at that time, Lawrence was a PT guy as well. So. He was
your PT, fuck me.
Aye.
He did shooting all the time, not shooting for other play football.
He's still really fit, but I mean, he's just a miles better player than. I'm not sure he's technically as good as Dobie, but
He was a player, wasn't he?
he's a serious player.
Oh, I love Dobie.
I mean, all the strikers I've ever had or played with, like McCoist and all these boys, and Coyle was the best finisher I've ever had. But in terms of natural talent, it was Dobie, I would say.
Mate, Dale Lyle says that.
Dobie was
He was incredible.
Dale Lyle wasn't in my top 20.
Right, what get to know, not just the manager, but the
Actually,
person as
before
well.
you do that,
Sorry,
I'll tell you a
just
great.
you take over, mate.
I'll tell you a great story about we're talking about strikers there. A great story about McCoist. We Owen Coyle. I said somewhere, because whenever if you want McCoist to phone you, all you need to do is slaughter him, say something. So I've said in something I was on that Coyle was the best finisher, just like I did there, that I've ever worked with or ever played with. My phone goes half an hour later. Is it Collie? What is it? Well, I tell you, Coyle, I tell you what to do with you. Go to his house, go in his back door, go through the kitchen, go into the front room, have a look in his mantelpiece, see if he's got 2 golden boots there.
We should sort them then, because we can't get him on the phone.
Desperate to get him on, mate. On you go, mate. Right, we want to get know just the football manager, but the person as well. So we do a thing every week. Anything in life that does your tits in. Pet peeves, we'll call them.
Football pet peeve.
Podcasts.
Don't mind that.
No, well, football stuff, it's all about, I think it's the wording everybody uses these days.
Oh,
And it's like, and if you don't use these words, you're regarded as a dinosaur. But I started 28 years ago in management, and the actual principles of them, in my opinion, haven't changed. They're exactly the same. You got to have a style of play, you got to this, blah, 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 and the next thing, you've got to do your video, you've got to do this and that. But you've got to win football matches. That's it. I learned that from, probably the most pragmatic manager in history, Walter Smith. That's what it's all about. It just hasn't changed. And then you say people about getting the culture right at the club and getting and there's a million other buzz phrases. I mean, now you hear players talking about in League 2 and League 1 and about getting the press right, and I'm like, people were pressing the ball 40 years ago. That's not a new thing. So that's a wee bit.
well, see, the one for me is transition just gets used constantly now.
Yeah,
Did you watch the build up to Rangers Dundee United? Dundee United are playing 2 up the day so that on transition, Dundee United are playing 2 up front so they can fuck the ball up to the 2 strikers. It's got fuck all to do with the transition.
Yeah. And also when they talk about 6s and 8s.
I'm a 6, I'm not an 8.
I genuinely don't know what that is.
So you know a match day -1 guy, no?
What is it? I don't know what that means.
It's a Sunday.
No, match day -1.
-1.
Is it a Friday?
It's a Friday. I
Friday.
do before a game.
No. What is that?
Aye, that's a new one.
No, I don't. Listen,
Football's went nuts.
I don't know anything.
Oh, it's wild, mate. It's wild. What about general life?
What do I dislike in general life? Actually, the walk from St Enoch Underground out here, I don't particularly like that.
What was it?
It was just a mess. The streets are absolutely minging
Bogging,
in the centre of Glasgow. Goodness, because I'm never in the town anymore. I never come into town. So
That was
there you
his flat you walked past.
That's filthy, isn't it? Absolutely filthy. Can I just ask you, your last day on earth, your last ever meal, starter, main, dessert, what you going for?
Oh, the main course would be Milanese with just tomato spaghetti.
Oh.
Where'd you like that? Where's a good one to get in the tin? Because you're a West End guy. Is there a particular restaurant you like to go to?
In the West End.
Eusebius.
Eusebius is alright, aye. The La Lanterna, the old one where La Parmigiana used to be, it's nice. I mean, for the crab shack's really good as well, but you'll not get Milanese in there. I don't really do desserts, to be honest. A bowl of soup, and then as long as you get a good Milanese, that would do me.
What's your soup?
Oh, what's my soup? Anything with meat in it. My wife's a vegetarian, so anything with meat in it.
Right.
Aye.
And your drink of choice?
Oh, it used to be something very different than it is now. I mean, I like red wine, but I don't really drink red wine anymore. So, a can of Coke and a pint glass full of ice. There you go.
Lovely.
Very boring.
Did you used to go for a pint of Lennon, is that right?
Aye, yeah. I mean, I had his boy at Firhill, Gallagher. You would never know. Goody Gallagher's 6'2", built like this, and when he's snarling and I mean, he's very misunderstood, Lenny, I've got to say.
Very articulate
Do
guy.
you get any pet peeves now?
Dishwashers.
Dishwasher?
Waste of fucking time.
I don't use dishwashers.
See a dishwasher?
I empty dishwashers. I don't use them.
Does the
no.
plate still stink?
They're never as clean as when you clean them.
Exactly.
I don't think.
And it's in for an hour.
It's a
How
funny
does it take
smell,
a
aye.
fucking hour?
Aye. You put 3 tablets in it and all to help it clean, but it comes out.
And it's the plates that
Curry
stink
oil,
like
innit?
dogs.
Aye.
Aye,
No,
dishwashers are
Funny
doing
smell, you're right, isn't there?
funny smell. It's
Honking of shite.
smells your boys.
I had one the other day when I was food shopping. I thought you must have had this. A guy stopped me, right? He was talking away to him. He was like, my son loves you. He's like, do you mind if you FaceTime him?
That's the worst, mate.
Fucking I batter in, mate.
You were jelly.
The boy didn't have a fucking clue who I was, honestly.
And what do you say
I
either?
was like, alright, mate. He's like, aye, how you doing? We're just staring at each other FaceTime.
Oh, that's the worst.
Didn't have a fucking clue who I was.
That is bad. That is bad.
That's
Dad's
horrendous.
asking to get a picture with their boy who's about 4, and there's no way the boy who knows who you are.
Or like even younger and you're holding them.
Can you hold the bit? Can you hold the win?
Remember I had two
Standing
ducks?
there with somebody's weight. Hing's fucking screaming at Skid off me.
Kelvin Grove Park, the one asked me for a picture and I stood with two dogs. Remember that? Can you get a picture and I had to hold up two
Grand
dogs?
Theft Auto, mate.
Oh, man.
Incredible.
bad.
Storms is bad, isn't it?
Oh,
You want to say your trip to Napoli got cancelled?
So we were meant to go out to Napoli. That was the one we've all been waiting for. Napoli v Juventus. Remember that back in the day, how much they hated each other as well. So we're going to do a wee bit on that with Maradona and then obviously see Billy Gilmore, but the flight get cancelled.
You had a good bit of access, I know, didn't you?
Was that at the weekend there?
Aye. Pitch side we're going to go, but the Friday,
Did Napoli win 2-0?
2-1.
2-1, I seen
I
that.
mean, they're top of the league.
Ah,
No,
no.
Lukaku scored again, didn't he?
McTominay's flying.
Flying.
Yeah.
Billy Gilmore's just come out of the team, but he'll get back in.
Oh, has he? Is he out of the team?
He's not been playing as regularly, but he'll get back in.
Oh,
Top
right.
player, isn't he?
No, having said that, it's a big thing on here.
What's that?
The Italian league now.
You don't having it? Great for Scottish players now. Goodness me. I mean, we had a lot of, when I was, this years ago at Rangers, a lot of the boys that had, Graeme Souness played there, Wlkins played there, Trevor, the Stallion, they're nowhere anymore, Trevor Francis played there. Can't even mind who Trevor Francis
Haley.
It was
Haley. He wasn't there when he came after. So, it's the first time for ages that Scottish players have went over and they've done well. Derek's, was it Derek's? It's not Derek's son, nephew.
I know, Derek's
Derek's son, aye.
Lewis Derrickson,
Lewis
right,
is there,
okay,
he's
I keep
flying. He's
getting
going into
that
Milan, I
mixed
seen.
Seen that.
Into Milan, 25 million.
Yeah.
Just lastly, can you get him in the West End Baths?
What is the West End Baths?
I think it's highly unlikely.
How do you need to be a certain type of person?
Well, I mean, you need to be seconded. I mean, I'll second you if you want.
What is the
Are
West End?
you allowed in with a t-shirt on?
What it is? Oh, of course
You
you are.
definitely
It's,
not
always
gonna
wear a
talk.
it's an old style baths. It's like, it's not like your normal swimming pool. It's like there's a trapeze over it, and there's rings and stuff, and there's the frigidarium, and it's very, very old fashioned.
And Lenny goes, doesn't he?
Aye, Lenny goes. He never
says
goes.
he swings naked
No,
for
he
the-
doesn't. He doesn't go to trapeze. No.
But it's just any other big names that go you can tell us. It's like a private members club. I love that.
Billy Sloan,
Billy Sloan, the music guy.
great guy. Honestly, great guy. He could pick up the phone to anybody. Well, like Rod Stewart, the whole fucking lot, and they would take his call. And he's the most unassuming guy in the world. Who else? It's all politicians.
Who sorts the memberships?
There was a guy called Bill Mann. He was a legend of Bill Mann. It's his son now that I think. I don't know who's sure who the chairman is anymore, but
Imagine we got a Slaney vlog in the West End Baths.
That
You
would be amazing.
just sit with a towel on. Is that, am I right in saying this? Is
Aye,
it?
but there's a women's section of the guys, and they switch. Then they do like that.
Massage?
You would have a t-shirt on, wouldn't you?
No, there's no massages.
No
there's-
massages,
Oh no, there is. It was not like that, but there is. there is a massage. It's actually his name's Clark something or other. He does masseuse.
That kills it, doesn't it?
It's
It's a guy's name you're gutted at.
Right, lads, we need to mention the Clubhouse. Today's show is once again brought to you by our partners at the Clubhouse. Was in again at the weekend.
Were you, mate?
What a place I had before I went to Cong.
Oh, right.
Cruise Campo. Open Goal viewers can get 20% off your food bill when you quote Open Goal.
Is that the same people have just bought the Drake?
Yes, it is, Andy.
Aye, because Tam invited me to something on Monday night.
Tam Kevin, that's right.
You'd like it in there, wouldn't you?
It's lovely. We went there for your mini stag, didn't
Are
we?
you going this weekend?
What, the
Clubhouse? The game it's shown.
Michael, what is the game? Tell me.
Incredible Champions League on Wednesday, Celtic Villa. Gonna be a cracker.
Who'd you fancy for that?
Villa.
But
Alright. Really? I watched Villa yesterday. I thought they were quite poor.
But the
Did you
Celtic
fancy
not
Celtic?
getting any Maida or Kyogo.
That's true. Maida and Kyogo.
I don't know who's
Jota's
gonna
back
play.
in it. You can also watch Andy on the big screen. I don't know if you want to see you on a big screen, but you
Aye,
can
true.
if you want to. Motherwell take on Celtic at Fir Park. Looking forward to that. Good reception, mate.
aye.
If you
aye.
score, will you celebrate?
Aye, I'd celebrate.
Celebrate,
all right.
You got pillars for no celebrating.
I did, aye.
What did you think about
There's been
that?
a couple of...
That's the thing I don't like either. I don't understand all of that either. This is a new thing, isn't it? You don't celebrate when it's fucking
Yes. It's good.
Did you score again?
Wheelock McCown done it, didn't he? He never celebrated.
right,
You never got pelters. I stuck up for him. There's no better place for watching the games, and you pint like a pint of Cruise Campo now.
Cruise Campo quite nice.
Lovely, innit? And the food's nice in there as well. Book yourself a table, link in the description box below. We're also doing the Aras event in Bad,
Wow.
21st of February. Willie Borland
Yeah.
and Cammy Menzies, we're playing them
That's going to be wild.
Bad.
in the Barras.
Is it behind the barras?
Barras aren't
Because
designed.
that's the Bluebells are having their after party on Saturday night.
Is that Young and Hard?
Yes.
What a song,
It's not
man.
the best song, but anyway.
Is it not?
Do you like your darts?
No.
No. I was going to say if you come down the 21st of February, but
What will,
See you there,
what will your walk-in song be? The darts?
This charming man, the Smiths.
Ah, that's a song. That's a tune now.
Like that, mate?
Oh, aye, aye.
it's not really a darts tune right enough, but
But I'll get the place
No,
going.
it's not really.
What's yours?
It's got to be Hornet.
Hornet
innit?
again,
I think it's overdone.
Fucking
yeah.
doing that again, are you?
Think so.
You're going to batter that out for another
It's
event?
Nicola Sturgeon.
2 bottles of champagne for a game of darts.
What would your walk on be? Follow or something like that?
No, it would need to be the Casey and the Sunshine Band, wouldn't it?
Oh, Andy
Andy shit.
Holiday. Right, Rangers beat Dundee United. Who watched that yesterday? By the
Brilliant
way,
game.
cracking game of football.
Brilliant game
it
of
was good.
football.
Really enjoyed it.
Dundee United were very good as well, first half hour. Really
But I
good.
like that. The proper had a go, Dundee United, didn't they? Been times this year Jim Goodwin's went kind of 5-4-1, sat behind the ball, but they went and had a go at Rangers, didn't they?
I've seen them a few times recently, actually, BBC, and they have. They're very, I mean, they're all banging on about boy Dalby, and he is top scorer and all that, but no, he's not going to be top drawer. Not for me anyway. But
Right.
he does really. But it's all long throws, isn't it? Long throws, and they put the balls in the box, and Holty and who's about the other boy? The centre
Gallagher.
Gallagher. They've got.
Well, I was about to say, this man was very vocal at the start of the season about how anti-long throw he is. Says he's never seen a goal scored for it.
Been heard
Dundee United have scored about 15 ever
It
since
just
you
came
said
in,
that.
though.
I've never seen. You don't usually see a goal direct from a long throw with the first header.
Yeah.
Right, direct, aye.
You always say to your players, you've got to be sharp onto the second ball, and then but they have done that.
Aye, they're
What they've
set
got, they're
face
two
for fun.
fullbacks. That's why they can change to what I know. This is very
No, good likeness.
why they can change for 3 to 4. They're two. Is it Strain and Ferry?
Ferry, huh?
They really fancy. They really like Ferry. They're equally as because yourself, wing back and full back sounds the same, but it's totally different. They can both play those roles perfectly.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
I like the two of them, Strain
Aye,
and Ferry.
good.
Very
They're
good
good
players.
players.
aren't
But I thought Rangers, that's probably one of the best performances of the season for them.
I didn't think Rangers started that
in the
well.
second half,
Yeah.
the second half I thought they
Like,
were really good.
it shows you how moments just change games, innit?
The
Because
goal,
I don't
Diomande.
think Rangers leaving look scoring.
Aye.
Diomande obviously chops on his right foot, 25 yards out goal,
I agree with that.
and then it kind of just sparks them, didn't it? After that, they are really
See,
good.
when they'll make it actually look like Rangers have ran out of ideas here a wee bit, isn't they?
And
They
Dundee
kept
United-
putting balls up to Holt and
How many
Gallagher.
times does it look like that this season? It's looked
Aye.
like that all the time. But Eganman's now capable of doing something really
He's-
different. He's got something. He really
He's
has.
not giving a fuck,
He's
Egan,
brilliant.
Aye.
He
He's
is.
just playing off the
He's that
cuff,
laid
isn't he?
back, just megging people and all that.
We
He's
spoke
brilliant.
about it
Breath of
on
fresh air.
Thursday, didn't we, Slaney? Where it's like he is like he's a proper playground football player, and he's just
Aye. Aye, old style.
careless in a good way. He
Aye.
just wants to make an impact, doesn't he? Anytime he gets it, he'll try something, and he is the one, and he kind of clinging on to the now. I think he's
Mate,
going to
but
have
see,
a real chance.
Dessers, mate, he does score goals, doesn't he?
Well, I'm gonna give everyone ammo to fucking cane me here, because I'm the worst for shouts. Anything I say is a load of shite. I've messaged him in the first half and going, don't care what anyone says, Dessers is pish.
I think his overall play
And
needs to
he goes
improve
and
though.
fucking sticks that in the stanchion, mate. What a finish. But see, first half, fucking tripping near the ball and falling out. He was dead man, not in
Still
the
needs
first
to
half.
improve.
He's not the worst. He's not the worst player in the world. But if Rangers want to try and get close to Celtic and want to try and win things, he need better.
He is an enigma, isn't he? Like, one week he'll miss for 4 yards out, like that Fraserburgh chance. The next week he'll pluck one out the sky against Man U, turn half out left foot half volley, and then they go at the weekend. But he is a threat, mate. He's a handful. I think he's more of a threat than Danilo.
You said that.
Like, whether you think he's a better player than Danilo is obviously a different argument, but I think if both of them play the same amount of games, Desser's going to score you more goals.
They go forward quickly, Rangers. I like. They get it into their forward players quick, whereas as you see a lot of teams now maybe playing at the back. That's what I like about Rangers. But I did think the second half that's probably the best they've looked in a while.
Anyone else good for Rangers, you thought?
I thought Diomande. I know it's easy to say it cause a goal, but I just think he's that one that is so positive all the time in possession. He'll take it in tight areas. He'll try and play forward. I really like Raskin, but he's not really like he doesn't break lines all the time, does he?
He's a breaker up around 85-yarder.
He's brilliant to win the ball back, but I just think Diamande's that one tight areas. Give him the ball, he'll make something happen. I thought he was really good.
I think Raskin's a right good player.
I think so.
A real good player. I think he could maybe go in. He's the one player that I think maybe could go in the Celtic team.
Do you, huh?
Yeah, a good player.
You think that's his best position, Raskin, just sitting in front of the back?
He's got to come off the game, aye. Yeah, a good player.
Tav?
He looks if he's back to his best, didn't he?
Full enthusiasm.
I know, he looks if he's whatever. I think there was a wee issue there maybe with Clement at the start of the season or whatever he was going to stay or no, but certainly the last few weeks, even gone to centre half v Man U, done a good job. By the way, I thought Rangers were excellent v Man U, considering what was good, the injuries they had, the young boys coming on, but Man U were.
Well, I said that last week. Man United are pish, mate.
They're awful.
Man U were worse than that.
Man United would not win the SPL.
Man U were. I thought Man U were embarrassing against Rangers. Honestly, I thought it was so bad.
You watch it?
It kind of shows my state of thought in terms of football. I watched the first half, then I had to go home and see Traitors at 9 o'clock.
And what was better?
Traitors,
Do
aye.
you like Claudia Winkleman?
No, she's really orange, isn't she? She's bizarrely orange.
She is very orange, isn't it? And she's got a fucking fringe as well. What was different for Rangers in this game? Because obviously their way form recently has been terrible. What was different Sunday?
I think Andy said it there. I think they got not a break. It was a great bit of play by Diomande, and that changed the game, because up until that point, I don't think they looked any different than they had been. They were just passing the ball across the back. It wasn't quick enough. He does that bit of skill, and I think the goalie maybe should have made a save. I think great save, but anyway, he sticks it in, and it all comes for there. And then they got a break with the other one as well.
The second, obviously, it's deflection as well.
I thought they played after that. I thought Rangers played well in the second half.
Well,
Dundee United's approach helps them as well. Dundee United having a bit more of a go,
you're probably right,
kind of suits Rangers. We talk about Rangers, like when you talk about getting the ball quickly, it suits them kind of counter-attacking at times, doesn't it, away from home?
Where do Rangers need to strengthen, do you think?
I think they need a
centre half for sure. Centre half for sure, aye. I can't believe.
Aye, seems that even the first goal.
I think it takes people time to acclimatise to Scottish football, I really do, but he doesn't look as if he doesn't look quick, he doesn't look powerful, he doesn't, but he must be a decent player. You don't play at the levels he's played at. But
I actually thought he was really good against Man U.
Yeah.
I thought he was good against Man U. But again,
he's poor for the first goal,
does he suit Scottish football? Does he suit the domestic football in Scotland? I'm not too sure. But I can't, what is it, the 25th or 26th of January day, and Rangers have made one signing.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe it. Honestly, I can't believe it.
What is this boy, a centre-back?
Centre-half, aye. Centre-half.
He's not played a first-team game, am I right in saying that?
No, this season, no.
No, this season.
No, this season, but I did, the boys that were keeping him out, the boy Lenny Yoro that Man U signed for 50 million quid. It's another boy, Diakite, that they paid fortunes for. Like, it's proper players that are keeping him out of the team, to be fair.
What about the boy Euro against Rangers?
Aye, I said it before the game, didn't
He's a pair of fucking high heels.
He's only 18 though, isn't he? Or something like
I said to him before the game, didn't I? I was like, the boy Lenny Euro's supposed to be top. Oh my God. I killed him.
It's just Man U though, mate. There's something, even last night.
Martinez was a joke though. Yeah, he was the only one, wasn't he? Aye. We kept saying it, just kept splitting passes all the time.
What about, there's a Rio Ferdinand, this is the level of football now. Boy, Collier, what a debut. Fucking bang average, man.
Is that what he said?
So he said when he was coming off, what a debut for Collier.
Wow.
Didn't they pass the ball forward once?
It's because he can run about, and that's they miss people.
Gloves
that can
on
run
as
about
well,
in the middle
Ian.
of the park. Oh, I know. Short sleeves and gloves. What's that about? I'm not having that.
But Rangers second half at Old Trafford have got a left back at right back, a right back at centre half. They've got 2 18-year-olds and Man U with a squad that's built for 500 million. Can he threaten more than they did?
shocking.
Like,
Rangers were brilliant, but wee Ridvan looked like a wee boy lost in the soft play.
second half,
he was
aye.
where the
for his man.
gaff. Where the gaff.
He was just running about all over the gaff, wasn't he?
Aye.
I see him at Waitrose in the West End, don't I? He's about 3'3".
He's tiny, isn't he?
Seriously, makes you look dead tall.
What's he buying? Stuff for his pat lunch.
He was getting, no, he said a bottle of Wlkins from Fags.
That should be Ilmaz up the bath on the trapeze. What about Diamonde's red card? No red card.
Never in a million years.
No.
Never.
No.
What's happened to football?
Why
Will
is
it get rescinded?
Ah,
Better.
surely.
I don't think it will, just because he's lifted his hands now, innit? They're
I
saying
know,
that.
but if they've sent Nick Walsh to the monitor, then surely
know.
we'll get rescinded because they don't think it's a red card. That's
See,
why they've
after
sent
what the
monitor.
Rangers fans were singing to Nick Walsh, though, there was no way he was overturning it, mate, innit? Did you hear what they were singing? We know what you are. There's no way he's overturning the red card, is it?
He's like, I need to keep this.
Does that annoy you, how, like...
No, do you know what?
The way
Willie
rules are
Coleman
now.
will be sitting there watching and says, "Oh, please make it a yellow. Please make it a yellow." Then he keeps it red. Wee Willie be like, "Oh my God," because
I'm
he's
gonna
going to
need
get the heat again, isn't he?
Another interview with Gordon Duncan, innit? Explaining himself.
Wait, why do you think he hasn't changed his mind there?
Because they're singing that.
I don't understand that.
And it's crazy.
I don't understand that, no.
But why? They,
Because it's not even like Big Holt, he makes a big deal out of
No,
it,
he
does he?
doesn't,
He
aye.
just kind of...
he's just been stubborn there.
I think he has been stubborn, mate,
Because he's no, there's a wee scuffle, but he's done a few shoves there and he's not caught my toe.
No.
Nothing in it.
No.
I can't believe he's not changed that,
No, it's
honestly.
mad. Obviously, Ian played with Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Ferguson's a good player.
Very good player, aye. Yeah.
Derek told me a story one time that you were in the motor and Derek would love wet, 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 and you stopped the motor and threw his tape out the window. Is that true?
It was in the Clyde Tunnel.
Clyde Tunnel, that's
Aye,
it.
it's true, aye. Did they tell you the story about when we took a car in Italy and tried to run Ray Wlkins down?
No, he's not seen that one.
Tell
is
us that.
We just jumped in this Italian lass's car and Derek started driving it. He was on the back. Wee Ray Wlkins is like, stop. Wee Fergus is like, woof, right away. That was in Choco when we used to go to Choco, you know, the place in Tuscany for pre-season.
Was Derek wild?
Do you know what? I think all the stuff takes away from how good a player he was. People forget how good a player he was. He's as good as the other two Fergusons, in my opinion. No, he was a top player. He was a bit, you know, him and Durante were a wee bit kind of. You know.
What, that's
But
what
you know,
we
if they
did.
sat here, they would say I was. So
Well, we're shite bags. We say certain things about older generation football off camera that we won't say on camera. So you,
I'll say it was pish.
Oh, Barry, we need to batter it. We need to batter all them days. It's horrible to sit and listen.
our two centre backs at that point were the captain of England, the captain of Scotland, Richard Gough and Terry Butcher. But you're right.
England number one in goals.
But you're right, proper and who's a Celtic centre back? Who plays centre back for Celtic? Name me one.
Trusty.
Proper and trusty were as good as Terry and Goughy. Aye, you're right.
Are you going to stick up now? See how
No against him,
Graeme
against Derek.
Souness, you had 2 years under Graeme Souness. Was he a proper player?
Aye.
Because they all say he was.
Aye.
He was
I mean,
top.
the Coop was there, and everybody always says Coop was the best, and he probably was. But in terms of their career, Souness and Wlkins and Trevor Stephen, he was phenomenal. And I thought anyway. But I mean, they were real players.
So you trying to get ahead of the players? Are you like a young boy in mid? Are you a
Aye,
centre fielder?
it was well, where I played, it was like they sometimes pushed Durante out there, but it was Coop and Mark Walters and boys like that, you know. So no other hardly played, but there was a lot of really good players. But I mean, I think they certainly were spending fortunes to me. But in saying that, when I signed, I think I was getting something like £400 a week, and I know Coop was on £500 a week. I mean, the big wages didn't start until. Remember when the English teams were banned for Europe? Mm-hmm. When Terry and all that signed, that's when things. I remember McCoist stormed in to see him because this is years later. Because Eric Bo Anderson and Van Vossen were earning 3 or 4 times what McCoist was earning. You know, so I mean that was. It came after that.
Because somebody told me McCoist's biggest earning was at Kelly.
No, sure.
Swear me.
Aye, somebody did say
Somebody
that.
told me that.
I wouldn't know that, but
Was Souness scary? Could he lose your plot at times?
aye, look, I was there when he done the thing with Graham Roberts. He'd said something and Graham had spoke back to him. It was after we got beat by Aberdeen. And Souness just walked out the dressing room, went and took back through the boot room, which used to be. And by the way, you walk out the dressing room, there's a picture of the Queen. What's that about? I'm for Dumfries, I have no idea why that's there. Anyway, they picked up his boots, obviously come back through. He says, for you boys, there's people that haven't played in England, what Graeme has just told me, he's basically told me to get the fuck. That's what he said to me. So, threw his boots at him. That's the last thing you'll ever play for this club. The following start of pre-season, I was on the team bus on the way to my league with the reserves. Graeme Roberts is sitting there, he's on the team bus, never played with Rangers again.
Wow.
Did they know you used to play Scotland v England?
Scotland,
back?
England every
Did they?
Friday,
Used to be running battles every week.
It was the biggest battle was always Souness kicking lumps out of either Derek or Gerrard.
They said that.
Aye.
Always. Honestly, it was
And
unbelievable.
would they beat him back?
Oh, aye.
Imagine kick fuck at your man.
Manager, mate, that's amazing, that.
Aye. But that was the thing was that was the way what they did at Liverpool. We every Friday it would be stretch and runs, and that's something I still do to this day. Stretch and runs 8. That's how you can tell whether you're really fit. Toro in a game, 8 aside or 9 aside Scotland v England, and they used to pick teams during the week as well. I'd be always the second last pick. You know, the first in the top 3 picks every time we played. John Brown, bomber.
Derek loves Bomber. He's some player.
Always a player, aye. Oh, proper.
Aye, he's-
Right, there's some names as well.
I know.
Who was always first pick?
John Brown better than Yilmaz, you think?
That's just that's like it, John Brown.
John Brown would eat him up.
Who was always first pick?
Probably Coop, I'd imagine. If he was going to try that day, probably be Coop.
Did Souness, do you remember like a tackle in particular, like a manager smashing the
No,
plate?
he smashed Durante one time, and I can't. It was a Friday, obviously, but it was a real. I mean, Durante's going to play for him in it because he was you've seen him when you were young, I'd imagine, but he was a real. Ray Wlkins reckoned he was as good as young players there was in Europe at the time when he was really, really young. But he absolutely bluttered them on training on Friday. He was fit to play the next day. Durant just bounced back up and all that, you know. So.
There's something about Souness, it's...
He's got an aura.
Aye, he's got an aura about him. But Derek says Walter Smith was scarier. Would you go back?
Walter gave me we were playing Hibs in a reserve game, and I'd been in the first team squad. I was on the bench. This at the time only had 2 subs, and for the first 7 or 8 games I was flying, and Walter came to a reserve game against Hibs, and I was murdering the first half, and he had a go at me at half time, and I said, do you know what? I've been doing really well, and the first time you come, you have a go at me, and I've never had a chance. Oh, he left me without a name, man. Honestly, aye. Slaughtered.
Wow. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Tomo used to be petrified him. Used to tell stories about him all the time.
Kevin Thompson?
Aye. He was petrified him.
Yeah.
Because I think he came for Tomo early on in his career at one of the European games.
But I don't know if you found the same. Tomo used to say he's the only manager he's ever had that he would flip with anyone. Whereas, you know, like certain players, they'd maybe note he said he would go for anyone, whether you're the captain or whatever. You play every week.
Yeah.
Well, I know exactly. I remember when I managed Falkirk, me and Yogi, I'm godfather to one of Yogi's kids. We're big pals. So I brought Yogi in. This was his last year as a player before he took the job and I left. And I put him in the office and says, listen, no matter what happens, I'm going to absolutely go through you today. Just take it and all that. So it's just for the other ones. So we went in and I went absolutely ballistic right up to his face like that. And the other boys addressed him like, goodness me, they're mates. Fucking hell, if he's doing that with that. And it worked a treat.
There you go.
Wow.
What's the maddest you've ever went as a manager, can you remember?
After we beat, we Tiffany done my head in a few times, man.
Was it Dundee or Tiff?
Aye, jeez. And it was Roberts. Here's another one done my head in, but much as I loved them. But we beat Aberdeen 3-2 at Tannadice. And I remember I threw the treatment table at somebody, like picked the treatment table up and threw it and nearly hit Dale McInnes, actually. Just right beside him. I went mental that day. And that was after winning because we nearly threw it away.
Right, what about Tiffany one?
Oh, just up against his face, like every second week. You know, you had to he was just an annoying wee.
I remember Zach Roddick.
You know what? Great boy. I mean, a
good
great
player. I like Tiffany.
boy. Can play, done brilliant for Thistle.
Do you think you can still do that in the day's game, like Hammer boys?
We go mad all the time, mate.
I don't
Can players react? Will you lose a player though? What
There
I'm
needs to
trying
be
to say.
something behind why you're doing it. Innit?
I think
shouting your shite, it's no very. But if it's
Do you-
constructive, mate.
I think a lot of players go under now
Do you?
if they get the treatment that usually they got back in the day. Mm-hmm. Or like even when I got when I was younger, I don't see any of that now. To be honest with you,
Do you know
I've seen managers losing up, but no to.
And think if you do it, and I was never. I mean, the main man, he could put it on. He could just go mental and no even mean it. So Alex, but I couldn't do it unless I really meant it. So therefore, you can't really pick your targets. And maybe there is, like Andy says, some boys now couldn't really take it, you know. So.
Well, I need to ask about McCoist. Any other stories about McCoist?
Oh, goodness me. I remember we played Rangers at Firhill when Walt was the manager, and it was Kenny Mack and McCoist who were assistants. And they came in after the game. It was a League Cup, I think it was a quarter-final. They'd went 1-0 up. Stephen McEwen had scored for us, one each. Rowson missed a sitter a minute to go in extra time. A minute to go. They went out the park and Pedro Mendes has just curled this one in for about 25 yards. So we're sitting in my office after it. Walters, I'm sitting there. At this point, it wasn't like it is just now. It's like a big office now, but now it was used to be the old John Lambie thing, stinking of fags, but it was just a wee office here. And Walter was sitting there, John Henry, Jerry Britton, my staff, Coisty, Durante, and Kenny McDowell. So Walter's like, you're all right, because he knew we were absolutely devastated because we did really well. We could have won. And so there's a big lulling conversation. And Coisty pipes up, Collie. I says, what is it? He says, he was playing for one of the boys that died, Jamie Dolan.
Jamie Dolan left it.
He died, didn't he?
Yeah.
This is it. So Coisty played in his testimonial game and scored a hat-trick. So he'd been 45 the week earlier. And he'd been telling us all about it before. So as I say, it goes all quiet. He says, Collie, he says, what? Aye. Did you see the game the other week? The testimonial? He says, aye. Can I ask you a question? I says, aye. He says, do you think there's a better over 45-year-old footballer in the world than you? And Walter couldn't. He's trying to hide laughing. He's laughing.
Genius, innit?
Ian, how do you look back at your career at Rangers? Did you previously say you had a few regrets?
Where did you see that?
Well, I mean, I only played about 20 games or whatever I played, but I remember when I was living my life well, I could go in and train and I wouldn't look out of place. I could train them easy, I could play with them easy. But when you weren't living your life well, forget about it, you know. And I remember we played Hibs at Ibrox, and we played at Love Street. Love Street was still there at the time. We won whatever it was, and I'd one man in a match. Not that that means anything, right? But I remember going out on I'd been up to something on the Friday night, which is not conducive to being an athlete. And I remember McCoist says to me on the way out, he says, remember at this club you need to do it every single game. And I played 56 minutes, got took off, and I never ever played again.
Yeah. What were you doing on the Friday night?
I was in the cul-de-sac bar till late.
Good for you, man. You need to enjoy yourself, didn't you?
But not
the night before a game.
No, that's not a good.
And you never played again.
But
That's savage, isn't it?
But the thing is, as a manager, do as I say. You learn your lessons.
But was that a lot of that was sort of the thing? A lot of players did do that then.
No, on a Friday night.
No, Friday night's a bit much. What about Wlkins? Because what a player!
What a player, aye.
Brilliant. One of our directors at Firhill was David Beattie, who's alive and well now. Came really, really close to dying of cancer, so he was down at the hotel at Chelsea. And I phoned Ray up, he was assistant manager at the time, and he got me, 3 other directors, somebody else to take David and take him into the game, etc. And he came down, brought a couple of players down. This is when, would it be Ancelotti was the manager at the time? I never met him.
Assistant,
Aye, but Ray came in with him, and an absolute gentleman.
He looks like that.
And the one else, see if you're on a football pitch, and you're surrounded by 3 players, and you think, Ray Wlkins would be an angle about 10 yards away, you could just give him the ball, and then it'd be 50 yards out the other side within a second. Good player.
I can't believe some of the names you're talking.
I know, big names, isn't it?
Wow.
We need to change our opinion, I think, if it all back in, don't we?
I know, when you name the names,
But it was more like Kev's era, no that
No,
era.
wasn't he? He goes right back.
No, because like you could
Who's
pass the ball back to the goalie for
Kyle.
but
Did you play
Collie.
Rangers?
No, but
Aye.
I did. But no, when we watch his old clips, we ken his clips, didn't we?
No, he's trying to get out to use batter back then.
But you could pass the ball back to the goalie for the halfway line and he'd pick it up.
It's just a rule. That was just a rule. The quality, the individuals then were much better then than they are now. There's no individuals in football now at all. Back then was.
So Ronaldinho, Messi, Ronaldo.
No, we're talking about now.
No, I'm talking about the past 5-10 years.
Aye, well, listen, tit for tat,
Tit for tat, definitely.
Messi's the best ever, isn't he? Messi better than Maradona.
Maradona the best.
Aye.
Oh, aye. for me.
He was at his banger half the time as well, which makes it even better, doesn't it?
He was in that bar Friday night with you.
When he asked you about Yogi, 'cause you mentioned him, any good Yogi story? I love Yogi, man.
The bear.
Hero.
I remember one time I'd turn up to training at Broadville. It was Jim and Billy with the man, Jim Jeffers, Billy Brown. Whatever was at the bottom of my bed, I'd just be at training with flip-flops, pair of shorts and a jacket or something, and I'd head in. And Billy Brown comes in one day, he says, Collie, you've always got to be different. Why have you always got to be fucking different? I says, Billy, if everybody was the same, the world would be a really boring place. So next morning comes, I'm sitting at my place. Yogi and they used to come in with Ollie and Neil Oliver and who else, Nicky and whoever else. He wasn't in. I'm saying, he's always in first. So then Jim and Billy come in. They're all laughing their head off. Here Yogi comes in. He's got one of Beverly's leotards on, big boots and a crash helmet. Billy goes up to him, Yogi, how come you've always got to be different? He just went, the world would be a really boring place, whatever he say.
I'm surprised Yogi's never got back in somewhere. Some of the jobs. What was the last? Inverness,
Dunfermline.
Dunfermline after Inverness.
And his team's popping it.
Oh, his Inverness team popped it, mate.
Brilliant. And a great, see, he came on, remember one of the Cooper shoes he came on years ago?
He's really good.
Brilliant.
He supposed he used to love getting naked, didn't he? Everyone says that about him. Love taking his
I
clothes
love
off.
guys like that, do you?
Yes, aye, they was partial to that. Aye. They also in the dressing room we had two big, I changed right beside him, me, Yogi and me Cadet.
Who's Cadet?
Richard Cadet.
Alright, I think George Cadet.
Yogi used to have two 6-inch nails above his, and a big 6-inch hammer, a big claw hammer. And he just said Yogi's chub. And if any of the young boys didn't get his tea right, he'd be like, right.
Also Dundee United managers, yeah. The McCall Derby on Sunday.
You had big characters in that team, didn't you?
The two I love, Charlie Miller and
what one? At United?
Dundee United, aye.
Charlie, what a player he was.
Love Charlie.
what a footballer.
Man. Unbelievable.
See the best, like technically you managed?
He was. I had him in the same team as Russell Lappy. I mean,
Wow.
unbelievable. I mean, I don't even know. I mean, I was doing it Kilmarnock the other week. I seen Derek, and I was talking to Derek's wife and Archie's wife in the office.
Who's this, Derek McInnes and Alan
Derek
Archibald?
McCall, Archibald, aye, and they were telling me all the stories that I hadn't, because I was imagining I had no idea about him with Charlie with the party bus and all picking them all up and the thing and taking them this, here, there and everywhere. But see, in the last 6 months of his contract that year, when we finished 4th or 5th in the Premier League with Dundee United, he was the best midfielder in Scotland. He was trying to get another contract. He'll never admit it, but he was. Yeah. And he ended up getting a move to Norway, I think, got a few quid. But actually he played against the Celtic boys, Lenny, all these boys, played against all the Rangers boys, ripped them up.
Talking about Charlie Miller as a player, and it just because he was a wee bit heavier as well, and he could just go. But he was he a wee bit like the Scottish Gascoigne? Is that me?
No, that's a good shout. That's a great shout.
When I first took over at United, the press is saying, well, listen, you've got a bit of a checker past yourself. Will you be able to help out Charlie? I says, well, I'm going to have a chat with him. So I met him at the first Tuesday we had. I met him in the post office bar, just opposite my flat, where I bought a flat in Broughty Ferry.
Oh, what a bar.
And so I was thinking we'd try to get to the bottom of it. He didn't have his early life wasn't easy, Charlie's, right? So I'll try to talk away to him. Comes midnight, we're in the kebab house. Blitzed, honestly. So you wouldn't change him, but in terms of playing, he was up there potentially as good as Derek and Durante. Charlie, he was that good. I thought anyway.
Well, see all the players, they all say he's the best young player they've seen.
Aye.
All the big names.
He's got a great shout, isn't he? Best 16-year-old I've ever seen, but the worst 17-year-old.
Aye.
Mate, Andy McLaren's one of the favourite guys. What a hero.
Who's that?
Andy McLaren.
Aye, Andy, aye. God, yeah, he did really, really well for me, Andy, and he'd just turned over, he's teetotal, isn't he? He's off everyone, so he was great for me.
Was it hard to manage?
No, really, the boys like that, I mean, it was the same as we Dodgy. I mean, we made I made all sorts of wage cuts there. And see, when people say lost the dressing room, that definitely lost the dressing room. I done it myself, and I didn't need to do it myself. He would have got the bank in. But we Dodgy, he was a problem when he was 34. But you know what? See, managed guys like Dodgy or Andy McLaren, they bothered, because every time they went in the park, they just gave everything. You didn't have to. It didn't matter whether they liked their manager or not. They just gave everything every time they went on.
By the way, I can't believe it, just reading the amount of names that you managed that became managers.
Good managers.
Like, you've got Derek McInnes, Barry Robson, Owen Coyle, just mentioned Billy Dodge as well. Could you Did you know at the time that any of them you could
McInnes
see
definitely.
McInnes?
Aye. I mean, Tony Dock, who's at Dundee. That's I kept him at Falkirk. I was going to bring in Ricey, but I was really impressed with Dock. We took him to Dundee United, and that's where he met Dale, and they worked for years, and he's doing well as well. So the one that you was stood out that you always thought would be a manager was McInnes. And I was talking about Bomber earlier. I phoned Bomber up about him when I signed him for West Brom, and I asked him about him, and this is John Brown saying this. He said he's a good player. Obviously, he's got his limitations. He did have limitations, but a right good player. But see, in terms of a will to win, I've never met anybody like him. That's what John Brown said about Derek McInnes. So he was always going to be that. The other ones, Coyle was a leader, Yogi was a leader. Wee Doc, I wasn't so sure, but he did his apprenticeship. And there's a good few more.
Does Coyle let a big time shout? A few of the boys that he's managed him said that he quite likes a big time shout.
Coyle?
Coyle.
I had Coyle. Coyle. I had Coyle for about 83 games, and he never missed a training session and scored 56 goals. So I wouldn't say anything bad about him.
He's still in India, isn't he? Still managing.
He's still there.
Tune, mate.
Is he? Aye, big dog.
Well, when he left St Johnstone, he went to Burnley, got him promoted. The promotion bonus was $1 million. Halfway through that season, he went to Bolton, and his bonus to keep them up was $1 million.
And he kept him up.
So I don't think he's worried about money.
Just loves Iron Brew, doesn't he?
He's the greatest heated tennis player of all time.
No. I used to hump him.
Did you?
Still talking about heated tennis. He traumatised us, mate. We played him and his boy. He had us on toast, didn't
His
he?
boy didn't touch your ball.
Remember his boy was having
his boy's an agent now, is he?
No, his boy's a coach.
Is he a coach?
He's a coach because he took him at Queen's Park.
He's quite one of them modern
His
day.
boy's an agent.
That's right, aye.
Coyle's a hero for I love Owen Coyle. Got great enthusiasm for football, isn't he?
Oh, natural enthusiasm. Unbelievable.
What about any jobs that, like, opportunities you thought you had the job and it never quite happened?
Love this question.
You want me to? There was one recently just up. I didn't apply for it, but I always thought I'd managed Dunfermline. Always thought, and it's just the timing's never been right in various things. I'd have loved to have went back to Falk. I had the opportunity twice, and I didn't go. I turned it down twice. I could have went to England to a couple of clubs. One the same week as I went to Dundee, or I turned Dundee United down. So I mean, there's been a few, but see, when you date a long time, you're always going to get, ups and downs. And when people want you, Ayr United when we're doing really well. That's why when I left there after 5 years getting pelters, I mean, it was only because it was Thistle. I'd turned about 5 jobs down to stay here. I'd been there 5 years now as a manager. If you ever become a manager or if you're at a club 2 years, you're doing well. Let alone 5,
The job you done at Ayr, mate, was unbelievable.
I know, you just look back at the players that we had, if we'd have just, maybe if we'd had a better manager, they'd won that championship, because they were the best team in the league, no doubt.
Even if you kept the majority of them for the...
Well, the biggest thing was, if the guy that's there just now, I don't really know him, David Smith, but he's obviously doing things absolutely brilliantly, like doing the bar and doing this. So I think he'd have been able to give likes of Michael Rose, Forrest, Danny Harvey, Lawrence, two or three others, longer contracts, because we didn't get a penny for any of them. Danny Harvey, if he keeps them, he'll go for 3, 4, 5 million in the next year. Michael Rose is playing. I think he's at Stoke now. Lawrence, I think Hearts want $1 million for him right now, even though he's got 4 months his contract to go. So there was a lot of good players there.
Do you think Shantley could play for Rangers?
Aye,
definitely. Aye. Would you take them if you were Rangers?
We were in the chip one night. I came through at Motherwell with Gary Mack, and we remained really close. And him and Stephen were in the Bickers chip one night, and I thought they were that close to taking Lawrence. When he was at Ayr, he scored all those goals. They ended up taking Jermaine Defoe, which is no bad. But you know what? They'd have got Lawrence for about a fifth of what they paid Defoe. And were
you urging them to take Shankland?
Oh, aye, to take a chance on him. Aye. He's far better than people realise. You just see him in training, and I don't know, but when Steve Clark, I phoned Steve Clark about him, and he phoned me first, and I says, you'll find out by seeing him in training how good he is, because he just looks as if he puts the ball in the net, and I know that's a great attribute to have, but he can score any time you go. I mean, he just dinks things, he drives things, he finds a pass. He obviously, to be really, really top class, he's missing one thing, which is pretty obvious, but Oh, he could play with Rangers.
Forget Shankland, mate. What was Gerrard like? Fuck Shankland. I want to know what Gerrard was like.
Great boy, the most humble boy you'll ever meet in your life.
Was he?
Aye.
Do you know what he talk about himself? Not talk about himself?
No. I remember we had dinner one night in Stavagen, and it was really interesting because I had to get there's two boys up for Cheshire, and I had to get them they needed to get back down the road, didn't know what, so I had to phone up one of the heavy team to come down in a car to take them down. But these two boys were supported Liverpool through thick and thin, and one was the Souness era and one was the Gerrard era. And see, listen to them, but who was the better player? Oh, he was. No, he was. No, he was. No, it was brilliant.
Amazing.
Wow.
Right, Paul, be inspired.
Aye, so I've lovely wee outfit I went for the day, innit?
Oh,
Supposedly sales in that dropped massively last week.
What about that? I know, the third eye, mate.
You
Don't
would
be
get
inspired
outfit.
to get anybody for that.
I think it's
No,
young.
that's a bee sting. What? He's got a bee. He's that and be inspired. He got a bee sting in the middle of his nose. Like he's a twirl, come on.
Could you see yourself in that outfit?
No, but I'm 60.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So
There's
you're looking
only
quite
one
cool.
problem with that outfit. The heat hanging out.
Be inspired to be raging in it,
Nah, you're looking great, mate. Would you never tuck that jumper up?
No, I like it quite
Boxy?
I like it boxy. No, boxy. I like it a wee bit baggier down there. I tell you one thing, the trousers are unbelievable. For years I've tried to find the best pair of trousers, and now I found them at Being Inspired. They're just unbelievable. Andy, night out, all during the day.
You're looking well, mate.
Unbelievable.
You look well.
You know, Be Inspired, founded in 2013 by friends and ex-SPL
I wonder
players.
if he knows them.
Be fun. Maybe I think he's maybe
Did one of them
managed
play
one.
at Dundee?
Stephen Robb.
I remember
Dundee
him.
United he was at as well,
I
and
remember
Mark
him,
Corcoran.
No.
Vision.
Mark Corcoran at Thistle.
Good.
No.
Well, he's good
No,
at
to be
Clyde.
honest, he wasn't a bad player.
Fuck, he
He's
won,
quite
I remember
quick
him.
guy.
Uh-huh.
Their clobber's good.
They're doing really well. They've got a vision to create premium menswear that stands out from the crowd. Certainly
There you
does.
go, aye.
Right now you can score some of their best selling styles at unbeatable prices during their winter sale. Save an extra 10% off sale right now when you use the code SAVE at checkout. This offer isn't around for long, so head to beinspiredclothing.com or visit them in their stores at Glasgow St Enoch, Glasgow Fort, Dundee Overgate and Leeds. Link is available in our video description. Terms and conditions apply.
Well done, Si.
By the
Thanks,
way,
mate.
that was
That
a
was
master
good
at
going,
work
mate.
there.
Really
I'll be
good.
working there soon.
That was a master at work.
Do you think so?
This next segment's a bit of slaying it.
But I'm fuming.
Oh wow.
Kyogo's away. I can't believe Celtic. I'll start with Kyogo. I can't believe Kyogo's left for his sake, because you went to a team in France that are near the relegation zone. We're talking about Celtic have just qualified into the playoffs of the Champions League. They might get the top 8 if they beat Villa. It's going to be hard, but they've still qualified. Why is a player would you not want to play now? If you go in the summer, that's different. I get that, but the now I just cannot
Was that
understand.
wee bastard, the Japan manager, innit?
But that's a lot of shite, because Maiden had to play for Japan. So how can you say you need to leave, but they two don't, but we'll pick they two? I cannot for the life of me understand it. And then even from a Celtic point of view, I can't understand it from a Celtic point of view either.
But see, the Celtic point of view, if a player comes and tells you he wants to go, you're letting him go now, aren't you?
No.
But
I
I would
think
strike
the
it.
big thing about it is he's probably won 3 times what he's on at Celtic Park.
Drink you will for it.
I think they're throwing the money about. I can't see any other way why he would go. Why he would want to go. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so do you know by this? It's the top 5 leagues thing he said, innit? He wants
League
to win.
One?
Is it shite? Is it?
Brent's only a bigger club in Celtic.
No.
No.
And they're not in Europe.
No.
With Celtic are playing Champions League, the best level in club football.
But
so
see, from Celtic's point of view, Slinny, you're getting 10 million quid for a 30-year-old.
See, I don't like
His
this.
goal record over the last 2 years has not been great, mate.
but it's so important to the way Celtic play. And see
Is
this,
he?
I think he is, aye.
In terms of what? The bounce the ball from or that?
Pressing. I mean, we want to press high, we want to play good. Some of these Celtics like to bet their lives. I thought it was so important to that. I still think he's probably Celtic's best attacking player of the day. I think the way Celtic want to play, I think he's so important. And I don't understand why for Celtic that you've. This what people are saying. It's killing me. This argument people are saying you might only have 2 games left in Europe. I can't get that argument. Like you might only have 2 games in the Champions League, so you've already got the league wrapped up. But surely they're the 2 biggest, the most important games of the season.
Especially now the league's won, innit?
You want to have your best players there to give yourself the best shot. And this 10 million because he's 30, like Salah, what age is Salah? 30, he's still the most important player at Liverpool.
Good shout.
Kyogo, we know his goals haven't been brilliant this season, but I still think he's so important to Celtic. And I think they've now left themselves in a position now. I know they brought Jota in, which is a brilliant signing, but I think they've put themselves in a position now that if they want a centre forward to come in now, teams are going to know that Kyogo's away and they need somebody in, and they'll bump the price up. I
You know, just play Maida up front now.
think that's what they probably
That's what
will.
I thought that was a set. I thought Maida would go as the
I like
number
him
9 with
taking-
Jota on the left, but I think Rodgers came out and basically said they want another striker, didn't they? I think they're linked with the boy
Bromby.
from Bromby.
And one
Aye.
for Villa as well, was it?
Louis Barry.
Louis Barry, they're looking at.
But they're not selling Barry, innit? He's came and said he's gone never.
Did he?
Well, let's put a manager in. You're a manager, 30-year-old striker. That's goal record hasn't been as good as what it was under the previous manager. You taking them?
Well, the key is Brendan Rodgers has said he's come out and said he wanted to leave. At that point, if that accentuates and speeds up and he says, I really want to leave, then you're left with no option. Then you turn it upstairs to get the best possible. And I think the deal they've got for him is terrific, particularly when they get the other the boy Jota, as you said, back for what was it, 8 or 9 million?
Yeah.
I do agree with you. I think the way they played Kyogo was very, very important, and I do think they'll get another centre forward. But the way they Celtic hierarchy, the business wise, the way they've done things over the years, in the last 2 or 3 years, I don't think they'll be thinking we'll sell him because we've only got another 2 games. I don't think anybody will have thought that. We've only got 2 games of the Champions League, so I think they'll be going to try and sign somebody. I mean, the Brøndby boy, I've to be fair, I've never seen him play, but 13 million, I'm not sure they'll go and spend that. They might be able to get a top one in on loan to give themselves time, but I think you'll see another striker in Celtic Park before the window closes.
See the stat, Celtic have made some like 230 million quid in transfer fees last 10 years.
Oh, they've been brilliant.
Rangers have made some like 68 or 70 million.
That's why I'm a bit more, I'm not quite as strong with you about it, but I don't think you can criticise Celtic for selling them. I honestly don't. Like,
I don't
I get it, like, if you're having the option, you're hoping, listen, I know you're not happy, we'll sell you in the summer, stay at the summer. I get that 100%. But if the bid comes in and he wants to leave, I think it's hard for them to then say no on it. But he is a big player for them. Again, I don't know much about this boy at Brøndby either, but see the reason Celtic have sold 230 million is because the recruitment's been good. So you kind of back that this boy's going to come in, and again it's going to be another one that are going to go and make profit on. But the one for me, how they've got Jota for 9 million quid after selling him for 25 million, it's just Genius. I don't get. Honestly, I think it's mental.
Mad, isn't
They
it?
basically loaned him out for 18 million quid for 18 months.
I'm going to ask you a question. What if part of the deal was you could only get Jota if you gave them Kyogo? Would you have done it?
Wow.
Look at wee Tom Boyd there now.
It's a fucking cracking question. That good a question, I don't think I've got an answer to it.
You're taking Jota at his age and he's to like a 30-year-old Kyogo go, nah?
I love Jota, I think he's a cracking, but it's merely centre forward. Maida will be good up front, and he'll be brilliant at pressing, but he's not got that now, so like Kyogo's got up front. He's not got the same movement as Kyogo up front.
But centre forwards haven't scored a lot of goals under Rodgers, mate.
You're not really surprised that he did want to leave?
I can't admit a genuine. That was why I started it with Kyogo, why he wants to
I think it's probably Tim.
He's been
annoying him too much, mate, hanging about outside his house.
I'm really surprised he went to leave so much.
Why would you want to leave? You're in the Champions League playoffs to go to Rennes, who are near the relegation battle? It must be the
It's Monzo, I think.
Monzo, thingy, why the fuck would you leave Celtic to go to these shitty clubs?
Mate, it's mental that.
Bet he regrets that. Juranovic.
Has he done no Denwell?
Oh, Monza, fuck me.
No, he went to Union Berlin, did he no?
Oh, did he?
Mate, I get told
there you go, fuck right, Monza straight away. That's a shite.
I'm not saying here.
Do you seem if you're actually more the other side that you think it's been good, like you're happy with that? With
to get Jota in, I think it's...
But I don't think that's not the day with the deal, is it? Jota? Why would you not want the two of them there? Jota's not playing there at all, the manager's told me he can go. I don't think that's anything to do with Kyogo. And I think with Celtic, I was watching the other night when they were playing, the front three's great with Maida, Kyogo and Kuhn, but when they needed a goal the other night in the Champions League, there's a big drop off, I think, when one of these front three come off for somebody to come on, and I think you need probably better quality.
I think Maida's more suited to playing centre forward.
I actually agree with you there.
The one thing I've said is that Jota got the 25 million thing wasn't to do with him being a 25 million pound player. He was just taking advantage of the market. Really, the Saudi's going to have to play that for him to go.
Yeah. I prefer Maida through the middle though.
Because he's no tricky as a winger.
He's not a tricky winger, is he?
It's Mary's that energy that he gives you. And he, by the way, is a good finisher. Maida is a good finisher. But I don't know, I'm just a wee bit...
So do you fear the worst for Wednesday?
It's another thing.
Aston Villa.
It's another thing.
I know you want to go and beat Aston Villa, didn't you?
Go and beat Aston Villa because you can still make that top 8. Now, I'm not saying that if Kyogo stayed you were going to beat Aston Villa. Aston Villa's still a top team. But give yourself the best chance. Maida's not obviously playing at centre half. So you're without him, you're without Kyogo. I don't know who'll play. I don't know who the front three for Celtic FIFA. I don't know who's going to start.
See, if it's Palma and Ida, I think I'll watch it.
I think he might play Valle.
I think I'll be like you and watch the Traitors instead, mate. Start the Traitors for the start.
Finished, mate.
Where do you think? Who do you think will go then? He'll go with because you've not got Maida or Kyogo. Either will obviously play.
Nah, he don't play up front. It's just who you. Well,
Will he play
he's not gonna
Valle?
Jota, is he? Who?
He'll possibly play Valle.
Jota's
Why
not
not?
even. He'll not even be registered.
No, he'll
You
not be
can't
registered,
register him
no.
after the game.
Valle, I don't know if he'd play Valle higher. I don't know.
Yang.
That's what I'm saying. It's a huge drop off. I think there is.
This is the most I've talked about Celtic and Rangers in my whole life.
Didn't I say that? Because that's how people say
My
it.
street cred will be like.
But do you not like that, chat?
Oh, I'm not into Celtic and Rangers now.
Oh, you know, mate,
God, man. No.
Well, there you go. What a link. We're on to Aberdeen.
Aye.
Who are murder.
Wow. What about the?
Can you
the
talk
centre-
about Aberdeen?
Aye.
What about, we need to ask a manager, the defending you're seeing at Aberdeen. And what is
I
going
never
on?
seen the way, but is it true that boy asked to be taken off? That can't be true.
That's
no.
what they said, aye.
Is it?
I think his head just went. But that you'd run off the show every week.
You can't just do that. You've just got to sit and deal with it. Fuck up and keep fucking up.
Yeah, I've watched them a couple of times recently. I mean, I don't see what they're trying to do. I mean, you know, they're trying to knock it about the back and stuff. And the big boy that plays centre midfield, it looks as if he's been a good player, but he really struggles to get about the pitch. Can you imagine? Aye. So, I mean, if it was a Scottish manager, he'd be under serious.
Is he under pressure, Jank?
No, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I think they've went all in, and I mean, they spent nearly £1.5 million, and for Aberdeen, it's all relative. So I don't think it is yet. But this can't continue. If it goes on another 3 or 4 games, and they're in danger, because if they come on like right up to Dundee United, it's like that.
Aye.
Anybody could finish the top 6.
Yeah.
He could be under pre if he loses the next 4. I mean, how long does it go?
The goals come from nothing as well.
I know,
Just
just
Picks up
three
the
long,
pitch.
three long
Mate,
balls.
Gogic actually just goes, doesn't even look, just goes, fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
that commentator said he meant that.
No, he didn't mean it.
I know he didn't. He didn't. It was free. It was, but that the big boy at the back just can't. That I've seen that a few times this season. When that long ball comes there, he doesn't know where he is.
I think the first one's his fault.
yeah.
I don't know what the goalie's doing.
I think
Why's the goalie coming out?
he's goal side of the
Exactly.
goal side of the striker. So if the goalie stays with us, he's heading it back into the goalie's hands. Do you know what I mean? I don't think the goalie needs to come off his line.
If all of Sanya's ahead of him, you can understand the goalie rushing out. But
Second
he's
one,
ahead of us.
Should he not be aware of where the goalkeeper is? So
I don't think so.
Well, your ball watching, thinking the balls came for here.
You're looking at your man.
Came over
keeper
your
should be
left shoulder.
talking to him though, shouldn't he?
I think people talk anymore, mate. But the goalie has been good since he came back. The second one, but again, this guy's meant to be.
Ross doing?
He's done all right.
Well, I had him at Ayr, brilliant.
Did you have him at Ayr? Was he good?
Aye, excellent.
This guy's meant to be like this, sitting and be very hard to beat. See the second goal. Olisanya and Mandarin, who are the 2 quickest players in the league. Aberdeen are 2 for 2 at the back.
I know.
The 2 centre halves that can't run. Surely
Olisanya
that's the manager that says when we're attacking, make sure there's 3 or 4 players back the pitch.
looks like Usain Bolt. That's second goal.
Aye.
Does he like?
How slow was the big boy though?
Arsene's tied it. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, he was running like, wasn't it? What about Ross McCormick said 2 feet last week? Did you see that? He's a genius. Ross McCormick spent $7,000 on a night out
When?
when he was at
When
Fulham.
I was film.
I mean, probably on a
I
bit.
couldn't sleep at a night if that was me.
No, I-
Ian, did you ever see as a manager? Did you ever like the run Aberdeen on? Did you ever have that as a manager like that run? Because how does he get out of this? And that's one.
No, as long as that, no. I mean, it's. How'd you get out of it?
I
Goodness
know.
me, you're just looking for a wee 1-0 with an own goal or something
Aye,
like
take
that.
it in, man,
You just got to work in your socks. So listen, I've only seen them a couple of times and seen them. I never saw the goals at the weekend, but how'd you get out of it? Jesus, you try and get everybody fit and just cross your fingers at times. And you've got to change. I mean, I think at times you maybe need to change something. He doesn't appear to want to change anything, but I think you maybe need to change something.
Well, you've been on a similar run, innit? 2.5 years without your hole.
2.5 year, aye.
Doesn't-
nearly had it, nearly ended on Saturday. Bill shot
take
again.
anything, no, mate.
Take it, bind up like the road with a king rib. King rib.
anyone,
Take a king rib.
You
off.
never done stupid things to the King Rib, did you?
I demolished it, but no way, no in that way. Aye, the run still
Big
continues.
plus for him as the boy Gaze back, isn't he?
Aye.
Who you said was fucking unplayable against
Against
you.
us, aye, it was ridiculous, aye. They've got options, haven't they? It's just when you're on a run and some of the 5-6 players that we spoke about, how well they were doing at the start of the season with their off form as well, because I mean Nisbet, Soccer, they boys, they were rotating them all the time because whoever was playing well. McGrath, what's happened to McGrath?
I know.
He was
McGrath
injured
was flying at the start of the
now,
season. Came back, was on the bench for a few games. I don't know if he's injured again, but
He's injured,
not
aye.
really been back in it.
Need to ask you about Devlin. He was your captain at wasn't he?
Aye, 2021.
Could you see him playing at that level he's playing at now?
Aye, I could. Aye, I thought he should have got to around about that level a bit earlier. But when you go to Livingston, David just handcuffs you to Livingston. So he was there for I think he was he there 4 or 5 years at Livingston? 3
Aye, he
years.
was,
He
aye.
was there 3 years because he went down to Walsall, didn't he? I thought he'd have made that jump a wee bit earlier than they did. But I mean, he's fit. You know,
Aberdeen's best
Nicky's
player,
fit
so.
as goodness me. He could play another 4 or 5 years anyway. You know.
Who's the fittest player you've coached?
Nicky would have been up there. He was an athlete. Aye, he used to an 800 metre 50. Coyle was really fit.
Is he?
On iron brew and fish uppers. So,
I know, it's mad he eats
Alf
something.
Tupper.
There's nothing out on Coyle as well, isn't it? Are you going to get us an exclusive on Tierney? Is he coming back? Is your mate?
Listen, I don't go against
Deal and gossip.
I'm not doing that to people who maybe tell me stuff. You don't do that to people, but deal is looking likely now.
No,
the only complication I would say, and this isn't coming from Tierney because I wouldn't do that, just face what other people that you know when you speak to, that the complication is it the loan deal, is it happening now? If they can get it done, they want it done.
But he's getting on now, isn't he? He's playing.
Aye, but I think they've got the boy. Did you see that red card the other day?
The boy Lewis Skelly.
Wow.
Well,
That's the worst red card that's ever been.
except for
What one was that?
Arsenal.
Have
Wolves.
you seen that?
No, I never seen it.
But no, but I think with Tierney, I think it's unbelievable for him. I must say, and it's no something up to him. I think it's unbelievable with him, still a top player, and he's come back to Celtic at this age. I think it's brilliant. If it gets done.
See, I was going to ask you, so we were saying about the run that Aberdeen are on. See, as a manager, see when you see your teams on that run and you see players are low in confidence, is there anything you would do differently as a manager? Is it just that hope that you can
Great question.
just get
Hit them
something
the
out of
back,
it?
I think sometimes you do try and change it, even if it's a wee, not just changing personnel, changing like the shape a little bit to try and do something. I mean, the runs I've been on, there was a bad one at Thistle, but that was really 5 or 6. You know, you see Motherwell's got a really bad injury thing just now. I always think it's the type of players that are injured rather than numbers. At this point, we had 6 key players, and you're just trying to patch together a team and just hope and get them really, really motivated. But you do try and tweak the system somehow. You maybe leave, as you know, 1 or 2 out. You just try everything, but you have to really maintain. Everybody here's played. They know the only way to get out of things like that is work even harder. You just need work, and eventually you get a break and something to.
What are chairman and owners like at this time when you're on bad runs? Are they constantly chipping in your ear? Or do they
Well, I
leave
mean,
you to it?
at Ayr it was. I mean, I'm only talking about Ayr and Thistle because that's my last. It was before that. Wee Eddie was great. The guys at Falkirk were great. At Thistle, we didn't really know who the owner was. The people that brought me back were David Beattie and Billy Allen. Billy's a heavy hitter, great guy. They left after 4 weeks, and it was Jackie Lowe, then it's the Jags Foundation. The whole place was a mess. At Ayr, it was Lachlan Cameron who basically said,
Get on with it.
go on, mate, do the job, aye.
Dick Campbell tells the best story ever. Have you heard this with the chairman?
No.
He said bad run at Thistle. He says I'm walking down. He says I'm in my office. The chairman phoned. He says, Dick, every time I walk down Buchanan Street, I get a Partick Thistle fan tell me I should sack you. What should I do? And Dick went, stop walking down fucking Buchanan Street.
Brilliant. Jink did at the stage in Aberdeen where Jimmy Thinn's going to take me paintball or something like that. Jink, that's
That's one of my pet hates.
Have you ever done?
Let's get really good team spirit. Let's take them paintballing or clay pigeon shooting.
Bottle of shite in it. You better go to the pub, haven't you? Better go to the baths.
Well, I don't know
Everyone's
about the
getting
bath,
naked and
but
slapping each other's
you're
arse.
better winning games and then doing something, knowing you're losing
Team
games.
spirit, let's shoot fuck you each other. You know what I mean?
Have any's here as a manager, even as a player, a manager ever done that when
The
you?
worst ever as a manager brought a psychologist in. And we just took the piss out of him for an hour and a half. Literally took the piss out of him for an hour and a half.
What, in a group situation?
In a group, the manager left, mate, and just left like 18 boys with a psychologist, mate.
Oh no.
Just took the piss out of him, mate.
Was that Jimmy at Highway? Was that Jim McCALL?
No, Peterhead, no. It was at Swindon. No, Jimmy would Nicky. He would Nicky.
Have you ever tried dating at all as a manager?
Not really, no. I mean, my teams have always, the dressing rooms are always, once it's been sorted out, it's always been really, really good. If anything, it was, I get too close to players, so.
Did you ever go out with the boys?
No.
Few pints?
I used to, aye. I know, in the last second period, last 500 and get odd games, I don't really do that now, but I used to, aye. Yeah.
Did you not take all the boys? I just get my head into Barcelona. Did you have a pub in Barcelona?
I did, we took, who was it? Jimmy Thompson was there.
Aye. Dale Lyle.
Dale Lyle, Jimmy
was the Dale, told me.
those two. Oh, God. Some of the Queen of South boys come over and spent 4 or 5 days there. It was great.
How did you manage to end up getting a bar there?
Do you know what it's called? The Celtic Cross. Just off Passage de Gracia and Barcelona. It was just my partner at the time. And, we bought it in 2007. So everything crashed in 2008. So
Any big names going
that
at it?
plus the Goat. Remember the pub called the Goat in Finison? It's now a Letting place. We had that as well. Opening night. Steve Archibald came opening night.
Did he?
Aye.
Not bad.
Aye.
In fact, that just dinged my memory. Davy Nicks says he played under you at Falkirk. Davy Nichols.
I had him at Clydebank.
Was it
And I
Clydebank?
sold him to Falkirk.
That's right. And you went away at the end of the season. Where did you used to take that? Was it Magaluf?
Aye, Megalaugh, aye.
And he says you just go
Magaluf.
wild. And the guy in the hotel was going to chuck them out. And they pulled Davey and that up to the reception. He's like, who's in charge of you? And Davey's like, the next time the lift goes out, he's getting taken out in a stretcher. Davey's like that guy.
It wasn't a stretcher, it was a wheelchair. Davey Knight was some boy for. If ever he'd done it, I mean, he got himself really fit when I had him and then got a good move. But if ever he'd done it, you'll all have played with these boys. If he does something good, he'd stare over at the dugout, you know. Oh, God.
They're the worst bench watchers.
Oh, wow.
God.
That's a huge pet hate of mine in football.
Who was your favourite, no player, but person that you managed? Who did you get on really well with?
Oh, God.
Who was good on a night out?
Oh, jeez. I mean, I've nearly done 1,000 games, so that's a lot of players.
Wow, 1,000.
Coyle, John Henry was brilliant.
Good lad.
Zippy was brilliant. Great boy. One of these boys that everybody loves.
Was he Bolton with Coyle, no?
Aye, Zippy was at Bolton and Burnley as well. Aye.
Who's the thickest? Rudden and Tiffany. Remember that interview
Oh,
they gave
Tiff.
us? Remember that
Was that
interview they gave? Well, who were you playing? And you-
Kearney.
Kearney. Oh, Kearney.
No, we beat Hamilton 6-1 in wee Tiffany.
That was it.
They'd brought up this boy for Huddersfield, Hamilton. They'd bought him for $1 million. He met me. I was kidding. The wee Tiffany, absolutely. You know that way in the old days, wingers used to go and try and rip fullbacks up, and he absolutely destroyed him. He never played for it. They sent him down the road the next day. With just their IQ. There was something about their IQ.
Aye,
That's
true,
the
that
biggest
was it.
thing I miss from modern day football. Just wingers, just direct wingers.
I know.
I think there's next to none now, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about it.
Everybody wants to come inside now.
Aye.
Very seldom you get people going out there.
And the passing about at the back, mate. Goodness me.
I don't actually enjoy watching it now.
Nah.
That type of football, I just don't.
Do you see, I know you love it, Andy, that passing about the back, but did you see Pep the other day for Chelsea, who's 2 goals come, 2 long balls to hand?
I know, but Pep does that. Pep does that when people press him.
Aye.
He
Need big
puts it up to the
sandbag.
big
First
centre
half
forward.
hour was a hard watch though.
Oh,
Man City
mate,
on
I
the
can't
ball.
get
Ganja's the worst for it, mate. Hibs pass it. They can't even do it anymore, mate. And he still tries to. They're fucking
It's got about
terrible.
73 injuries. Goodness me, there's hardly any players
They
left at
concede
Spurs.
73 chances a game. Spurs, mate. They are. It's
Can't
like
you be
it's like
upset?
playground, mate.
Can't you be out of Leicester at home?
Leicester have dug mate. What did Aberdeen do to now, right? Because they've just gave this boy what 6 or
They've got
7
to stick with him. They've got to stick with him. And
But even if he continues to get beaten,
well, the only way, I think the only way it'll change if this run gets, it's bad to know, but if, say he loses another 7 in the bounce, then I think someone's got to happen. But they've got to give him every opportunity. They've allowed him to spend all that money. They've got to give him, you know. And they can't forget that the first 11 games he won, was it 10 and drew 1?
They need a striker badly,
they've got
I'm
Gay.
surprised Nisbet's not
Falkirk
done
and
better.
Nisbet.
but they don't score goals.
Gay's just back, isn't he? He's just back. He was scoring before he went off. But do you know what? He's not very inspiring, mate. That.
Daily like gloves have got to
He's
go.
like dead respectful, isn't he? Like the way he talks, he's dead respectful of opponents and
It's a
other
leather
managers
gloves
and
for me.
whatnot. But I think for
Where does he wear leather
you know,
gloves
with
on the
fans are like, they
touchline?
want to know that you've went through somebody. Do you know what I mean?
I've never seen that. Alvin Stardust.
Aye, well, supposedly he takes all his clothes off in the dressing room, but he keeps the gloves on.
Wait, the gloves have got to go. Aren't they black leather?
gloves?
Thelin with black leather gloves at the side of the pitch.
Oh, does it?
I've
Mate,
never
I've
seen that.
I've not noticed that either.
I had them on at Saturday again, I clocked them. Aye, they're a bit worrying for me, they're something you would wear.
Didn't know how to bring this up, but Motherwell. There's a bit of
We can
pressure
skip
on
it if you want.
Kettlewell as well, mate, isn't there? Listen to the radio on the way back for your friendly Saturday, he was getting a bit.
Was he?
There's
Bit
a
crap,
few
innit?
working in the media seem to be chasing him a wee bit, I've got to say. There's a few just working in the media that seem to be chasing him. I don't really know why.
Big Craig, and I think he's after the job, isn't he? He must be, mate. People are coming for him, you're right. Do you think that's harsh?
What are they expecting?
I think it's harsh, right? I mean, listen, everybody's talking about the style of football, because I don't watch Motherwell, so I have no idea about that. But considering where, if they finish, if we called the season now, they finished 5th and got to semi-final League Cup, would anybody say that? I mean, literally, that's a really good season for Motherwell. And that's not been disrespectful to Motherwell, but I think it's harsh. I think I took him to Dundee United when he was 16 on trial, Kettlewell, a young boy for Queen's Park. Now, he's a great boy, but I think he talks, he's what Jim Jeffries' sentence could last about 3.5 minutes, one sentence. Stuart's a bit like that, and I think that turns some people off, and maybe they want to, that's why they're having I don't know. But he seems to be getting chased a wee bit too much for what he's done, in my opinion.
And also the fact, rock bottom when he took over.
When about there,
Aye, bottom, aye.
It also
Bottom
seems
had
to
just
be he
been
has
put on.
mad runs you'll know better than me, but Mad's runs of no winning for 16 games, then no getting beat for, if you just break that up, there wouldn't be that pressure.
But every team in the league are like that, aren't they?
Sitting fifth in the league, obviously League Cup semi-final, so...
with injuries as well, you've had.
But mate, that's like, I know you've kind of laughed at how much the injuries we've had is not. I'm telling you, you've never seen it like it.
Yeah.
Never seen it like it. It's fucking mental.
Why do you think it is?
But again, it's like they've been bad. They've not been reoccurring injuries. It's not somebody coming back for a hamstring tearing the hammy again. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's. But you talk about any club in the league, whether it's Celtic, Rangers, or whoever's got the lowest budget in the league, you take their captain, their best player, their top goal scorer, their number one goalie at the team. Like they're significantly weaker. Do you know what I mean? So we've got AP's been as your top scorer, Lennon's our best player, McGinn's our captain, Aston's our number one, and Callum Slattery's been one of Motherwell's best players for the last 3-4 years. Like, you're missing them for the full season, and you think you're getting one back, and then somebody else. It's hard, but.
Remember when you played and 2 or 3 of your best players were on the plane? You couldn't be fucked playing, could you?
The manager hated his.
Do you know what I mean? See, if there was 2 or 3 boys that were on the plane, you're like, what's the point, man? They're going to beat you, don't they?
And the managers, even his
I was only like that when it was windy. See, when it was really windy, you'd be as well no playing me. I could have just sat in the stand.
The wind is the worst, isn't it?
Peterhead, mate, remember the wind up there when we used to play us?
Did you play against his?
They beat us in the playoffs.
I wasn't playing, but manager, we beat 4-0 up there in the playoff.
No, McAllister got a red card, mate. McAllister fucking elbowed somebody early doors and got sent off. That was you against Jimmy Mack, wasn't it?
Aye, Jimmy Mack. I played in the youth team, the professional youth team with Jimmy. What a player he was at Celtic.
Did you?
Jimmy Mack, he was a full-back in the days.
That weekend there was the worst defensive performance as a league as a whole in about 30 years.
Well, what goals are you talking about?
Just all the teams. I mean, I don't know what's happened to Kilmarnock this year under Dale. Top manager, especially the way he sets up, but some of the goals you're conceding and the amount of goals I've already conceded, they knew up until this stage of the season, is close to what they finished with the end of last season. And some of the goals for your Hearts, I just couldn't believe.
I think he thinks their best.
Have they changed something?
I think he thinks their best defender, who is also their best organiser, Finlay, is out for the season. He also, he's not a huge injury, but the boy Kennedy, he reckons, is his best player. But I think Finlay's so important to him because he's the one that moves people around. So
because
is it Finlay? Yeah, it's Finlay.
But Adele's team, I mean, most seasons are really well set up. This season it just seems like even the game v Hearts at the weekend, I couldn't believe what I was watching. Players standing in the middle of the box with nobody running about them.
By the way, one of my favourite stories we've had on open goal has been Greg Stewart's Stuart Finlay.
Oh, that was amazing.
What was that?
Greg Stewart's uncle used to go to all the games, the Kelly games, but he said one day he's picked him up after the game. He was taking him up the road.
Getting him back up the road.
So obviously there was a car school. Stuart Finlay was in a car school. So Greg's driving. His uncle's in the passenger. Stuart Finlay's in the back. His uncle's getting him and went, who the fuck was that number 5?
He was honking at it.
He's fucking hopeless. Stuart Finlay sitting in the back. But how's the first goal allowed to count?
With offside.
Hearts' first goal.
Oh,
the big striker standing 10 yards outside the ball goes, he just checks the centre half.
But that's one of my pet peeves when after the game the manager comes out and moans about that decision when a lot could have been stopped when the ball went into the box.
But Lenny, see when you're down there, mate, and you're
I'm sick of hearing about decisions
and you're getting decisions like that against you.
Sick to death of managers come.
But that goal shouldn't stand, should it?
No, I'm not. But I'm just meaning in general, like there was a lot of that goal what happened defensively that as a manager I'd be looking at that before.
Well, see, to be fair, but somebody shanks a shot first of all, and then it comes back to Wilson, and he shanks a shot, and it falls straight to strike it.
How did Wilson get it? Wilson crossed it first, somebody then missed, kicks it, whatever, and comes back. How can Wilson then get it again? I know it shanked him, but the defender should have reacted to it much better.
Just quickly, St Johnstone, they've given themselves a bit of hope. Only 7 behind Kelly now.
So it was a big win for them, obviously.
Are they decent under,
but play good football, but mate, like obviously I told you when I came off I was heading arse out of the toilet for the last 20 minutes. I never seen the last 20 minutes, but I thought we were so comfortable up to then. First half dominated the game. They've had one shot and goal. We had a few counter attacks, and then second half they started better in the second half, to be fair. But I don't see us losing the game at all. And again, I've watched every game but that one, so I don't even want to watch it back. But I just felt comfortable enough in the game that I didn't think they were going to come back into it.
Why not?
I just, unless they get the turnover of staff in the next week, I just don't think they've got enough to stay. I've seen them a couple of times, saw them against Hearts, and there was just, maybe that result against Motherwell when they maybe didn't deserve it, I don't know, but against Hearts they played really well and they were popping it about and great, brilliant, but there was just something that tells you there's a smell of relegation, you know.
Aye.
And by the way, I've got someone else that, you know, that's pet hate.
Yeah.
Why do young people like you call each other mate all the time?
Mate and bro.
Robbie Nielsen's the worst ever. Robbie Nielsen, mate. I'm like, what? It's bizarre. Anyway, there you go.
So do you not say mate now?
I say bro.
Oh, really?
I like bro, I know.
Oh, bro's the
Bro's
Bro's terrible.
Bro's terrible.
I love bro.
Oh,
No, bro's bad. I say mate all the time.
You say bro, I know.
Mate's alright, I don't like bro,
I
mate.
get it.
You know,
You message me, alright, bro.
you're a bro, you
I like bro, aye.
don't you? Uh-huh.
Bros.
Well, so what was up, you sick?
Oh, aye.
Are you, mate?
Oh, aye.
You've passed it on to everyone.
No,
You're
it's
a fucking, he's a human germ, mate.
You dirty bastard.
How are you feeling, alright?
That was the what? Have you been no well recently?
no.
That was the worst flu I've ever had. I'm telling you now that.
Not living right, that's why.
No, it's no, mate. I've been living, changing, training like an animal, eating like healthy, and then it just.
Ah, what's the animal for? A fucking pig?
no.
What about that weather as well? Friday, see anything like that?
That was crazy, man.
World's ending, mate, I'm telling you. What about Celtic Park's roof blown off?
Morton's, the cow shed.
Morton the cow shed came
There
up.
was only a wee gust down there, but to that.
You Tom Boyd's fixing the roof, didn't he? Tool belting, naked.
I was cancelled the game, Celtic game, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
No.
Were you going to go?
No, I was meant to go to Napoli.
Oh, so you were meant to go to Napoli, huh? Last wee bit, so you can't remember him at all there and a waste of time that, but
What's that?
can't remember him.
No, I do, yeah, well.
Do you remember a training session or that you done anything? Nah.
I was brilliant in training at that time.
Where did we train? Was it at school?
The big high school member.
Aye. No, what it was with the training, when we first did the training was quite good, but you see all the small-sided things. Good because JP
McGovern.
McGovern, a good player, but small side, in the big pitch. Back in the day, obviously they'd been good enough.
Who was the best player you had overall your time in there?
At Ayr?
At Ayr, aye. Shanks.
Shanklin,
Aye, probably Lawrence, aye. Although McCowan, Forrest, Rose, Harvey were all really, really good. But yeah, you've got to say Lawrence. Aye.
Mate, some of the players, the teams are playing with now, it's unreal. Coming for like
I know.
young players should take heed to that,
Yeah.
shouldn't they?
And what, go out on loan and stuff like that?
No, like I mean, in players at lower league, you know, maybe playing with like.
I know, but do you think more SPL championship teams should be looking at
Aye,
these
take it.
leagues to
Aye.
get players?
100%. I mean, aye.
How did you go about scouting players? Like, did you just go on who you played against, basically?
Well, I did used to go to a lot of lower league games, but bizarrely enough, I signed Harry Milne because
Good player.
I saw him playing against Hibs on the telly one night with Cove, and I wouldn't been planning to watch the game, and I looked at him and I thought, goodness me. And I phoned somebody about it when I watched them again, and we were in well ahead of everybody else because he should be playing with Hibs or Hearts now comfortably.
Aye,
But he's linked with something there.
Aye, well, Dundee. I know
See, at
Dundee
Cove,
were
he was
influenced.
unreal left wing back, wasn't he?
Aye, he's a good
6 foot
he's a
2
right good
run,
player.
could play.
And just well, like Jack McMillan, you just remember, did you play with Jack McMillan at Livingston?
No, I played
I
against him.
loved him.
Just
What,
Jack,
right?
you just haven't seen him, you just remember wee things, you know.
You're a cracking player, that boy.
Yeah, good player.
Has management changed since you first
Excellent.
started here, has it? Is it not as enjoyable now?
No, I mean for me, I'm not ready to go back in. So I want to be a manager again. I'm only 60, but as I said at the start, I think the principles are the same. I think there's more pressure at every level you're at now because of all this stuff, podcasts and social media and all these. Everybody's examining everything. You know, even when you guys played, you'd play when you were starting out. If once the game finished on the Saturday, you get pelters at a game, but Monday it was all done. No, it could last. So. But the principles of the job are the same. You just go out to win football matches.
Well, see, you said that about 10 minutes ago about like your longevity and security in a job as well. Like, I done my badges 2-3 years ago, and see the pressure that managers are coming under about potentially losing a job if they go 4-5 games without winning a game. Like, I'm like, fuck that. Why do you want to get into management? You're under pressure after that.
It is getting to a stage, and even if BBC at Sports Centre, a big mate of mine, Kenny McIntyre, I was very friendly with his dad. He was a great guy. Kenny's a great guy, but he's really bad for, constantly wanting to debate managers about this, that, and the next thing. And there are times manager gets the bullet, like who kind of deserved it recently. Nazy. Even there's an argument with Stephen Naismith at Hearts, but that was 8 or 9 games, and he said to me he thought it was coming. But then you look at Ian Murray. What was happening there? Jack Ross when they'd finished third and stuff. It's just.
Did you ever get sacked where you thought like Maybe I'm getting like you thought
Well,
you were safe in your job and it just came out of nowhere.
Thistle, February the 12th, was 2 years ago on February the 12th. That's still affecting me now, so that came for, that was really, really hard after what we'd done, because we took over an absolute shambles and we had to work through COVID and all the takeover with various people. But I mean, it's not to do with Thistle now, because none of the people that are there that were responsible for that. I mean, I went in the next... it was after we played Rangers, we beat 3-2 at Ibrox in the cup.
Remember?
An hour later, I was called in with a guy called, I won't mention his name, he was the chairman. He's not even there anymore. And they let me, Archie, and Scal go. And we wanted to go in on the Monday or Tuesday to say to you, because I'd been at Thistle 9 years. Archie had been there over 20 years. And they wouldn't let us, these guys wouldn't let us come in. And all my stuff in my office, like pictures of my boy, my mum and dad, letter for Sir Alex, handwritten, kind of crumpled up, putting things just put down at the door. Wouldn't let us go and say cheerio to the players.
Fuck's sake.
What was the reason they gave you for getting...
Well, we got beat 2 home games in a row. The 8 before that, we'd won 6 and lost 1 and
my
drawn
point.
1. We could beat 2 home games in a row, and we just...
You were excellent for your Rangers as well.
We dropped it. We had a fully fit squad, and the season before, when we won League One, or the 2 seasons before, we were 5th or something, but we had got everybody fit. In the last 6 weeks, we beat everybody, won the title comfortably. We beat Falk at 5-0, and we were just getting everybody fit again. And actually, they did go and do really well. Nearly went up through the playoffs, but that was taken away from us. We still felt we had a chance to win the league, because we had everybody fit. So that hurt, but that was hurt only because I was at that club.
Do you give the boy a bit back when he said to you?
No, I was in show bit with Big Archie. I was trying to look after Archie, because they're great boys, Scally. They offered Archie, he's arguably the most successful manager since Mr McParland. They offered him the under-18 job for 6 months. Alan Archibald, to his face.
That's shocking.
But I must maintain, though, that aren't people that are there just now. Just in case they want me back as director of football.
How do you know Sir Alex?
just through friends.
Good top man.
Aye. Yep, yes, aye. It was, well, aye, yes, aye.
Have you got any, did you know what to tell?
No, I wouldn't do that.
How will he find out everything, huh?
No, it's
Have
just, it's one of these things where a lot of people can sit these things and tell them that they know him, so I wouldn't do that. No.
By the way,
he is the main man, though.
What about this?
I know.
Did you know about this?
No.
What is it?
Okay, tell us about a bizarre time in your career when you were the Clydebank manager and the club attempted to relocate to Dublin.
Oh, jeez, aye. Honestly. The weekend, who was...
Somebody handcuffed himself at the post.
Aye. That was the right back. No. we played somebody away for him, and one of the fans... I mean, this guy, there was a guy called, his name's Sandy somebody, can't mind. But remember the old Park Gardens? The old office of the SFA? He just went in one day and he handed this pamphlet thing. We're moving to Dublin. Clydebank are moving to Dublin. This is the plans. And thought they'd say, aye, all right, see you later. And it never happened. But the fans then, 500-600 fans, we played at Boghead. We played at Boghead at the time. Actually, I've got a great story about it. But anyway, we played at Boghead at the time, and the fans, for some reason, thought me, Chiz, and all the players were responsible for it, and it just went utterly mental, culminating with a boy running onto the park and chaining himself to the goalpost during the game. Mental.
How did you get him off?
Cutters up, I think somebody came out, it was an away game, I can't remember where it was, but somebody came on with the cutters and got
The pink fluffy ones, was it your dad?
That's why it was great to see them the other week there at Easter Road, because I remember we used to go down there during the week to watch Clydebank. They had they brought players through. The Steedmans were brilliant.
Brilliant club even now, though.
That's what I'm saying, it was great to see that.
What was your other story you said you were going to say? The Boghead one?
It was Coyle, right? It was, remember Dumbarton when Joe Coyle, Tam Coyle and Owen Coyle all played. Coyle was about 15 at the time. And Murdo McLeod. But have you heard the story?
No.
Murdo McLeod came in as a manager, right? So Murdo was there with Alistair, his brother. So Coyley's out the back. You'll not know these names, right? But so Murdo's like, right, I'm taking over. Murdo's doing well again, hopefully. I'm taking over and things are going to change. We've not got a lot of money, but what we'll do is we'll get you new club suits. You'll get team buses to the game. We'll get you pre-match meal. We're going to try and do everything really, really professional. Went on for half an hour about how professional it is. Any questions? The wee guy, he stays up in the East End of Glasgow there. He says, Jimmy Hughes puts his hand up. I was like, who's that? It's Jimmy Hughes. Hi, Jimmy, what's your question? Hi, boss. See when Branco fucked you in the head with the ball, was it sore?
That's brilliant.
Martin McCoist have been raging.
Oh, God.
That's genius.
That's brilliant.
Oh, so good. And what was this? Played in Hong Kong?
Aye, Happy Valley, aye.
What a place.
Yeah, I loved it. I stayed for a year just before the handover.
How did he even come about for?
Oh, I can't remember. Big Neil Armour phoned me, a boy I know, and asked me to come over to play in a couple of games, and he just wanted to sign me for a year. And it was Pamate, sing Wado, lay down, guy. That's what I can't need, I learned. Happy Valley, sing we road, let me off here, please.
Did you enjoy any good nights out?
Oh, listen, that's...
Something
We
else
spent 3 months there, but Big Paul Ritchie was there with us.
Big
I don't know if you know Big Boboza. No, the centre forward. Scored
right,
all
no.
the goals. We had 3 months there when we were really fit, getting fit. The other 7 months we weren't. It was, the standard of football wasn't great. The money was good, but brilliant place to live if you've
nights
obviously
out,
been there. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Hong Kong is amazing, isn't it?
Have you been?
For the fives, but I couldn't play on the pitch because it was AstroTurf, wasn't it?
Oh,
We basically just got a freebie.
I must do that.
mate, one of the best nights.
How can you not play an AstroTurf?
My ankles were fucked when I was young.
Are they?
2.5 year. Barry Robson smashes in the reserves game, fucking snapped my ankle.
Who
2.5
was he
year.
playing with?
When he was at Dundee United, I was at Celtic as a kid.
He was at Dundee United, was he?
Levine was the manager.
Oh, I signed him with Dundee United.
You signed him?
I signed him for Dundee United, but I thought that would be way before you.
But he was at Dundee United for years, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Let's say I
I
signed
signed
him.
for Inverness for 50 grand, and
he
we sold
good?
him to sell it for whatever it was.
Was he brilliant for Dundee United?
Ah, he's a good player. Aye. Daft as
Aggressive
a brush.
as fuck, was he?
Fucking daft as a brush. But
What, in terms of what he's... But
Just-
he's thick. Is he?
He's still raging about that job, Aberdeen.
But lovely, he's a great boy. But you're right, he is raging.
Aye, he's still raging.
He's
about
one of
that.
these. There's a lot of them. Big Yogs like that as well. Maybe Yog thinks. You see other people getting jobs, you think, that should be me because he's done quite well in other jobs. I'm not like that. If I never get another job, I've done it for over 40. I've been in football for 43 years. I don't get another job. Nobody owes me a job. Football's gave me everything. But there are people that think, Michael Tidger, what's he done? How did you start? So it really deserves a chance. Yeah. So,
You're a bit of an enigma, aren't you?
enigma. What does that mean?
Do you know what I mean? I don't think anyone really knows who your McCall is.
That's the beauty of podcasts. You can show this side of you.
That's the way I like it.
As an extrovert, what's that?
No, extroverts like out there. Introvert like
Let's
Maybe in
keep letting
between.
him talk, you know.
Maybe in between.
In between? Is there an interesting fact that nobody knows about you? Are you into any weird shit?
Yeah, well, yeah. I found out a week ago. About. Well, as a footballer, I was allergic to grass. I couldn't see. I had asthma, and I only had one kidney.
Is it?
Aye. So for that, I done all right. Only found out I had one kidney about a year ago.
How
Couldn't
could
believe
you
it,
play
man.
football if you couldn't see?
Oh, just blind. I never even used contacts either. I remember honestly with Eddie Hunter, he used to come out the dugouts at Old Hampden. This is before you, but this is when the wooden dugouts right at the park. I'm standing half an hour scratching. He's like, McCall, stop scratching, you fucking wee allergic bastard.
You allergic bastard.
I left Motherwell with Jota Wallace, and I went to I thought I nearly gave up football because I was scunning. I says, I'll go to another manager. I went to Eddie Hunter at Queen's Park. Now, he was a maniac.
Was he, huh?
Great boy, but maniac.
Have you had any job opportunities in the last couple of months?
No, I've not even, as I said.
Are you
I'm
not wanting to get back
No,
into
not
it?
just now. No, I might not get an opportunity, but no, not just now.
Why
Just
is
as I
that?
said, well, I think you really, really need, if you're going to make a job, go out. See, when I went in the Ayr, I was so hungry because I'd just come back off sorting myself out for problems.
Right.
And then I went to Thistle, and that's my team, and we did really, really well at both those clubs. As soon as you've no quite got that, because I'm just using Michael Tidger as an example, but there'll be a lot of other younger managers just now. Sure, Kettlewell, there's an example. The one thing, whether they'll be good, bad, or indifferent, they'll all be hungry.
Yeah.
They'll all have that desire to go and do it. So if you've not got that, I'll hopefully get it back soon.
Any other questions for him? I've got the funniest player you've managed.
Well, Coyle was funny.
Was he? His own quite funny, huh?
Oh God, aye. John Henry was funny. I mentioned him before. Jerry Britton was really funny.
Derek Ferguson loves Jerry Britton.
Aye. Well, did he know Jerry know what with Derek at Stranraer?
So no, that was right. He's assistant manager.
Stranraer.
What about like more modern times that we would know? Anyone that
You'd
was
know.
made you make laugh quite a bit? Tiffany.
No, he was funny, but he was just daft. Ayr United. Danny Harvey. He was one. Aye. You tend to find the funny ones are the most fucking bizarre. You know what I mean?
Surprising ones.
Well, there you go. But Harvey was.
You know him?
Moffat as well. You mentioned Moffat. Moffat was,
Moffat as a player.
he was nuts, man. Absolutely nuts.
They've come out the game now, haven't they?
Roberts was really funny.
He's not.
Roberts was really funny.
Was he? Matt Roberts funny?
Crazy, aye.
Was he?
Aye, crazy.
He was a good player as well, Matt
His
Roberts.
favourite brand, his favourite music band,
Metallica?
Slipknot.
Oh, Slipknot. It is.
Sorry,
He's
Slipknot.
obsessed with that type of music.
What music are you into?
Smiths, she likes the Smiths.
Like Smiths, like a Cure.
You're really good. He's a weirdo, that.
Oh, I
singer,
love
isn't he?
Dylan. I went to see Dylan's movie just with
Timothy
my
Chalamet.
missus.
Is it good?
You would never believe how good he is in it. I thought he'd be too pretty for it, but he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
He played every song and sung every song himself, innit?
I've heard that Robbie Williams one's supposed to be unbelievable. It's like a cartoon.
He hated it.
He's
I
a
love Robbie, but
Aye.
I wasn't sure about it. Made Gary Ball look like a total fanny.
I know.
Did he?
Oh, mate, if you're Gary Ball, you'd be fuming. You said your big
So
boys.
what was the downside of the movie then?
What have you had an animal had to pay you in a movie? What would it be?
What, sorry?
Have you an animal had to play you in a movie?
Oh, an animal? Fuck. I looked at the wee one to see Nicey.
Garfield. Garfield was based on your life, innit?
Pussy. I don't know. I really don't know. If there was an actor, there's one just to finish. If there was an actor to play your life, who would it be? What actor would you want to play you?
The woman that played Pat Butcher.
You'd be Kieran Lee, wouldn't you?
Who's Kieran Lee?
You must know who Kieran Lee is.
Even if somebody was to do you,
Clooney.
that's not bad. But you have a look at him.
Well, don't know.
I'd take Brad Pitt.
No, you can't.
Not bad. No, but Ben Affleck, you're a wee bit like.
Aye, don't mind it.
What about your favourite game you've ever managed? There you go.
Good question, Simon.
Falkirk 4 managed.
Yeah.
Falkirk 4, Hearts 0 in the Scottish Cup the day before I went to Dundee United.
I could be wrong here. Samuel was a joke. Striker?
No.
Wrong.
Is there not a game that who was the two strikers you took tonight that were
Jason Scotland and Colin Samuel.
Samuel? They not.
Jason Scotland, what a boy. What a boy.
And what he's been on here. I've interviewed him. He was a hero.
Jason, Soldier.
What's that? Soldier.
His family were on Sammy came from a place called Manzanilla, literally a little place on the beach with really basic housing, used to just eat fish and all the really healthy things. But a soldier came for the port of Spain, and one of his brothers was in the army and the other one was in the gangs. So the two of them were complete opposite. The soldier went on to have a serious career down in England, went for fortunes. He was a player. He was a real player.
He was so strong, Jason Scotland, wasn't he?
He was when he was with Coyle. Comes out of the stadium one time at St Johnstone. No, it was. He gets a phone call for this. I hope this story's all right.
I take it if it's not getting edited.
He gets a phone call for Mr. Coyle. I need to speak to Jason Scotland, one of your players. He said, so what's the issue? I mean, I can't just. Well, he's been going out with my daughter for years, for about 2 years, and it turns out he's marrying another girl, and we only found out last week. And my daughter's in tears, and she's in bits and stuff. And Owen Coyle is like, well, I don't know what I could do. I mean, right, okay. I mean, I'll speak to him. Will you do that? I mean, he's been round at my house for Christmas dinner and everything. So Coyle speaks to Jason. Says, Jason, this lassie, she's heartbroken. The mother's phoned me. He says you've been round at the bloody house for Christmas dinner. He looked at Coyle and says, yes, Gaffer, what a dinner it was.
Last one, because I just remembered you mentioned him, Russell Latipe. So you managed him?
Aye.
Genius.
Aye, fantastic player. Aye, him and Charlie, they'll try the ball each. And a wee guy called Kareem Kerkar, he was there, I know. But aye. But Russell he's a bona fide Falkirk legend, top player. But I mean, he was just a.
Who was better at the two?
Charlie and
Latipe and Charlie Marr.
I'd go. Most boys say Latipe. I'd go Charlie.
Did you?
Go Charlie. Aye.
Did you mind that Latipe would smoke?
No, I
You don't feel that good, would you?
I didn't really know at the time. It was only when I met him when he was out there. Right, Gaffer.
Do you like a snout? Did you know you like a snout back in the day?
Back in the day, I started smoking when I was 43.
Did you?
Aye, I don't give it. Same year I learned to drive.
Why did you start at 40? Who got you into starting it?
Long story. I need to stop, but it's a terrible thing. Really bad for you.
No, you're right.
You've been brilliant, hasn't he?
Ian McCall, what a hero.
Unreal, mate.
Thanks very much.